Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going,
Hello.
everybody? Yeah, we are live, and I think the countdown worked pretty much right this time, so not too bad. This is episode 2 of something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. And I just kind of brought 2 of my good friends on here to kind of just show off some of the new things we've got recently, kind of just, chit chat a little bit about new movies we've seen, maybe new movies coming out we're excited about, and just kind of hang out on a Friday night. And I have a box here from somebody here in the panel tonight, and we'll get to that closer to the end because I haven't even opened it yet. So, but this is Corey Wilkie's Movies and Music, and this is our cool kid Johnny from What's Johnny Watching. How you guys doing tonight?
Doing great, man.
I'm doing pretty good.
Thanks for having us on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Good way to spend a Friday. Good way to spend a Friday night. Hang out with some buddies and some chat and talk some movies. It could be a lot worse.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it looks like we've had some people in here for almost 2 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and just start popping through the chat real quick before we get too far behind. Hey mom, thanks for popping in. We got Corey saying hi. And
say hi to mom.
Okay, lots of moms. Okay, here we go. And she said she loved the song I used on the story. Yeah, it's a very catchy one. We got Tiana in here. Thank you for popping
Tiana.
in here. One of the nicest people in the community. Very supportive.
Absolutely.
Yes, if she's not having a good evening, we're not having a good evening.
No.
She's too nice to be having a bad evening. All right, we got Gizmo in here. Corey, Johnny, and Jeff. You need to dig deep. Do Titanic tonight. It is Titanic month, just so you know. Also known as the Witch Month. Okay. Do
not get me started on Titanic, damn it.
I'm not the biggest
Gizmo loves
fan
it
of
too.
Titanic. I'm not the biggest fan of Titanic. I don't mind it, but it's kind of like whatever.
I remember seeing it in the theater, but it's been forever since I've watched it. I remember my wife and I going to see it in the theater when it came out, and that I think was one of the last movies I went to that did intermission during the movie. And it's just funny. There's movies now that are just as long, but they don't do that anymore. But it's kind of nice to be able to stretch your legs for a second in the middle of a 3-hour movie.
Hop to the restroom, get some fresh buttered popcorn.
Yep.
But when you're about an hour and a half
Get up, go watch a better movie.
Yeah, exactly.
We got Sarah in here. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Thanks for joining me tonight. She's saying hi to all of us here. Well, we didn't forget you. We wouldn't do that. Not at all. I don't know how to do that, so we'll do that later. Okay. Sorry, I almost put somebody in timeout by just clicking on it the wrong way. I think we're all chat.
I've done it on accident before. I put Dell in timeout for a while one night, and I freaked out. It was like one of my earlier ones, but it's so easy to do when the chat keeps scrolling on you when you're trying to click to highlight one.
Well, it would have been bad. It would have been
oh yeah, Bob did it too. Oh yeah, your mom would have let you hear about that then.
Oh yeah. We got Cody in here.
Cody, what's up, man?
Yes,
What's up, Cody?
Thanks for popping in here, Cody. I have a stream coming up with him next Friday where we're going to talk all spoilers and just all of our thoughts and discussions on the whole 3rd season of Chucky. So if anybody wants to join in on that, you got a week to catch up. It should be a fun time.
I would like to check it out. I have not seen. I'll be honest. I haven't seen any of the episodes, but I liked jumping in and watching your streams that you've been doing with your son.
It's been a fun show. It's been a very fun show. Better than some of the other horror movies turned into shows. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I gotta catch up to watch it. Okay, cool. All right, and we just got some more highs. So I guess We'll just go ahead and start off with some new pickups and everything. I'll start off kind of. I did an order on Amazon the other day. Not everything's showed up yet, but some of the stuff is like a week or so out because it was pre-ordered or it was just really low stock. I don't know. It came from somewhere funky or something like that. And these first two were DVD upgrades. I've been trying to purge as many of my DVDs as I can, but What Dreams May Come. This is one of my favorite Robin Williams movies, and I'm sure it looks a lot better on Blu-ray than it did on DVD. I'm kind of wondering where the 4K is at for that, because HDR would really make that movie pop. When he first dies, he falls into that painted world, and it's all colorful, and I think that's going to look a lot better than it did on DVD for sure.
That's a depressing one.
It is. I haven't seen it for a really long time. It's not one that I go back to extremely often. But I haven't watched it since I bought the DVD probably 13 or 14 years ago. So
Yeah.
The other DVD I upgraded this week was Airplane 1, and it just so happened to come with Airplane 2.
There you go.
Yeah, if anybody's interested in this, it was only $10 on Amazon for the double pack, and not bad at all. I like all the actors that are in these ones. They put some funny guys in there. I don't know.
The first one is such a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if I've seen one before. I bought it strictly on the fact that I love the first one, but I don't remember if I've seen the second, but it looks like most of the cast returned for it.
Yeah, there's so many quotes from that first first one.
I mean, the second one, I enjoyed the second one, but it's clearly not as good as the first one.
Yeah.
It feels like they got just retread the first one. And maybe that was the whole point why it's called the sequel.
Right. Well, maybe then that just makes this even a better deal, because then you're not really buying two, you're just getting two the first one. I mean, and $10 isn't bad for a single movie.
Oh no!
So you're getting both of them. That's actually
$10 is worth Airplane.
Yeah, and I think that What Dreams May Come was about 10 as well. And then I picked up this other one for 10. I don't remember whose stream it was, but on somebody's stream the other night, they brought this movie up, and I remember the first time that I watched it. I think I watched it on Stars back in the day, and I remember crying. I was probably like, I don't know, I was mid-teenager, but I remember bellowing like a big old baby. And I think I'm about ready to do that again. Because I didn't have this, and it's nowhere to stream, but it's only $10 to scoop the Blu-ray. So it's an early Blu-ray, so I'm sure it doesn't look the best either. But I just remember having a really good time with that movie.
I've never seen it. I'll have to maybe check it out.
What?
Yeah,
I've never seen it.
It's good. It's good.
There's so many movies, Johnny, that you can look at me and shake your head and be like, Corey, what have you been doing all this time? Come on, man.
Yeah, everybody out there knows how I feel about Will Smith, and I just can't stand the bastard now. But that performance is probably his best performance that's ever been captured on screen.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna write it down here to.
Yeah, that's what I say. Like, even if you don't like, even if you're not a big fan of Will Smith, the story is just such a captivating story, and it's based on a true story as well. It's just such a good story, and his son, like I think this was his son's first movie, because he's credited with his full name. So I think this was the first time that he was in a movie as well. Jaden, the Karate Kid, the Karate Kid son.
And that scene where he's in the bathroom.
Yes.
God.
As I say, it'll bring you to tears, maybe more than once. But it's so worth it. It's a guaranteed good movie to have in the collection.
Yeah.
And then of course, everybody knows, if you were just watching me and Gizmo's chat earlier, I'm trying to get all of these. And I got this from Amazon for about $16 in this order, and it came with the lenticular slip still, which really surprised me.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I just ordered it and it still came with it. I can't take it off because I'll have to like cut the sticker and stuff. I just haven't done that yet, but because it has like a warehouse sticker, I'm gonna have to go back
Oh.
there and lightly peel off. But hell, for $13 or $16, you get the DVD, the Blu-ray, and the 3D, and you get the lenticular. Like the lenticular was a nice bonus. Because as far as it stands, of all my Disney ones that I've got so far, I'm only missing one lenticular from the whole set, and I don't think it's that hard to get. I'll probably have to buy the movie a second time because it's cheaper just to buy the movie with it than to buy the lenticular, sadly. And that's Brave. And then the other one I got, which if anybody follows me on Instagram knows that I watched this last night for the first time. I may have seen it, but I definitely considered it a first time watch because I did not remember it. But my wife loved this movie, and when we were looking for Disney movies on Amazon, she was like, "Well, did they have this one?" They only had one copy of it, and I was kind of skeptical because I thought, well, I can't find it on IMDb or any of that. It's not technically, it is considered a movie in Letterboxd, but when you go to IMDb, it's not considered a movie. It's considered an episode of The Wonderful World of Disney. So if you go and you look up the show Wonderful World of Disney, you have to go into like episode 7 or 8, and this movie pops up. It's really weird like that. There's actually a handful of movies that I grew up watching that I didn't realize weren't technically movies. They were movies, but they were TV movies, I guess. But this was good. I would suggest hopping on Amazon, scooping this up. I think this was technically Keira Knightley's first like front role, like her first main role where she was like thrusted to the front of the poster and all that, because they don't have any credits to give her on the back of this DVD case. Of course, this DVD came out, I think in like 2002. It's like an early DVD, and this is actually a product to be authorized for sale in Canada only. It's not even a US DVD, it's a Canadian DVD. But the when they credit her movies on the back here, they say Keira Knightley, and the only movie they credit her for is Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, which I didn't even realize she was in. I learned that reading the back of this, and I've seen The Phantom Menace a lot. I mean, I'm a kid of the 90s. I remember my parents skipping school and taking me to the IMAX to see it on opening morning. And
that's cool.
I've seen that movie probably more than any other Star Wars, and I did not realize that she was in that movie until I picked up this one. But there's some good people in this. Malcolm McDowell's in this as well. I can't remember the other guy's name, but he's in a whole bunch of stuff. I remember him from being the butler in Richie Rich.
What's the full name of it again?
Princess of Thieves. Yeah. And it's about Robin Hood's daughter. She plays Robin Hood's daughter.
Okay.
So, like I said, I had no idea about it. It was a fun little surprise for me. My wife knew she liked it. Obviously, it was one that she watched growing up. You know, with Disney movies, some of them you just missed, and some of them is the one that you just wore the VHS out on.
Yeah.
So, but that's all I got from that Amazon one. If you guys kind of want to, let me see here. Let me see how far down in the comment. We'll go through the comments again real quick, and then we'll hop on to some stuff maybe you got, Corey, and we'll just kind of go around.
Sure.
Gizmo, looks like Johnny has the same wallpaper as Kathy Bates' character in Misery. Gizmo, come on, man. Maybe, though. I like the flowers. So, what dreams may come.
Oh,
that's probably why I watched it as much as I have in my life, is because I remember you watching it, Mom. I believe that was one that we had on Laserdisc, and then a very early DVD, because I think the DVD I have is still from like 1999. Gizmo, how do you know what the wallpaper looks like in the movie Misery? How do you remember that?
Oh, Gizmo, you dirty birdie.
It's so cool. And Robin Williams is traveling to hell in that film. Yeah, the imagery in that film is nuts, which is a major reason why I'm happy just to upgrade to the Blu-ray. And because I bought the Blu-ray just now, it'll probably get announced for a 4K soon. And honestly, I'll probably just jump immediately on that 4K for the HDR. But that's just me, because I just remember when he dies, first when he actually dies and he goes to like, I don't know, I guess it's the afterlife. I don't know if they were actually calling it heaven then or what it was, but he ended up in just a pool of paint and all this different colored paint mixed everywhere and all that. And I bet that's amazing. That's gonna be amazing HDR.
Who released that?
That is Universal.
Universal. Okay.
So Universal is real hit and miss on doing their back catalog. I mean, heck, they're hit and miss on doing new releases on 4K lately. We've been getting a lot of their movies just on Blu-ray, like Lisa Frankenstein. Renfield still doesn't have a 4K. I mean, not here in the U.S.
Yeah.
If you import, you can get it, obviously. I'm not proud of that, but something sticks to my mind. I will check it out. Okay. Didn't know you were. Oh, sorry. My chat's a little funky on here. I'm sure you guys are used to that. Wow, it took me all the way back down to the bottom. Okay, I think if I missed anybody, I'm sorry, but I believe this is where I was at. Pursuit of Happiness. They show that shit in school. It made me cry. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, it is PG-13. I was going to say, wait a second. They show R-rated movies in Canada, but Pursuit of Happiness isn't R-rated. He might get one F-bomb, which I think is allowed in a PG-13 anyways. And I believe she's with you on the Pursuit of Happiness and not liking Will Smith at the same time. Both so underrated, good movie. Okay, so this actually Bolt was a blind buy for me. I've never seen Bolt. I'm not proud to admit it, but so a lot. It's very common nowadays for people to be like 4K snobs. Oh, I'm not going to watch that until I can watch it in 4K, whatever. Yeah. Well, 10 years ago, I was like that with 3D. If it has a 3D, I'm not watching it unless I watch it in 3D. That mentality kept me from watching Prometheus until about 3 months ago. Like, I missed out on so many good films because I know they're on 3D, and I was such a stickler about it. So this is going to be a first-time watch for me. I do recall watching previews on like 3D preview discs of it, and I always wanted to watch it. But it's just now getting to where like 3D movies are what I consider to be affordable because nobody really wants them. But I can afford to buy them and watch them with my kids at the same time. So this is like a really good time for me to be kind of collecting my Disney.
Yeah, it's fun.
In general.
Yeah, my reason for not watching that is because I couldn't stand Miley Cyrus at the time.
Fair enough. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen both.
I've seen it. We have the Blu-ray downstairs. I don't think I had the 3D with it, but we have that one. Because wasn't he the dog?
Yeah, he's the dog, I believe.
Yeah, I thought so.
It's like really sad at the very beginning, but then it gets better.
Yeah, I mean, I genuinely like most Pixar movies. I haven't seen any in probably the last 3 or 4 years. Basically, I think Onward is about where I stopped with Pixar movies. And Onward's amazing. That's a great movie, but I think that's about where I stopped for the most part. I haven't really seen anything past that. I started getting more into other movies, and that's about the time I dipped into YouTube, was about 2020, and then I learned about Arrow and Scream Factory, and well, you can't spend as much time watching Disney movies then.
Yeah.
You've not seen Bolt. Well, you have to come over and watch it with me, Mom. We'll be putting those 2D glasses on. It's a cute movie. That's what I keep hearing.
It is. Bolt it's really
movie.
good.
I have seen it. Okay. Well, it looks like the chat's synonymous on that. What's up, Mark?
Hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
This is my my real life friend for anybody that's in the chat that doesn't know. This guy here officiated himself as a priest to marry me and my wife years ago.
Oh, that's awesome.
One of my best friends. He's a ride or die.
Cool. Yeah. Very cool. Yep. Always good seeing you, Mark.
Yeah, he'll support anything I tell him he needs to support. If I say, hey, they're good people, go over there and give them a support. He's in there supporting them as if they were me.
Yeah.
Will Smith is so cute when he say, "Got me dragging your heavy ass through the burning desert with your dreadlocks sticking out the back." He's like a
Independence
puppy
Day.
dog. You just want to stroke behind the ears.
Shit,
I don't know. I
wanna hit
think
him with
Johnny
a
wants.
bat.
I think Johnny wants to kick him behind the ears. if he's a puppy dog, I think that's about where Johnny's at with him. Send a message and tell him. You ask him, best there is. Yeah, Johnny is the best there is. Okay, I was checking out Letterboxd when I noticed 5-star in common. What happened to Baby Jane? I've never
yeah.
heard of that movie.
That's
a
Betty
good one?
Davis and Joan Crawford.
Okay. You
I
like
have
it,
not seen
Johnny?
it.
What?
You like it?
Yeah, it's a really good movie.
Yeah.
And what's funny is those two actresses hated each other. I mean, they really hated each other.
Well, if it's in my mom's top 5, she must have it over there on DVD at the house. I'll have to go steal it from her sometime.
Do a double feature when she comes over to watch Bolt in 3D. She can bring the DVD of that over, and you can do a double feature.
Oh yeah,
There we go. There we go. We got Huck in the house. What's up, Huck?
Hey, Huck.
This is about dinner time for him, or maybe a little after. So I appreciate him popping in here and hanging out. Looks like a lot of people are checking out Letterboxd. I kind of got my mom addicted on there and just went on there and started adding all the people from my friends list on there for her. So I like it. It's a fun time, and I get a lot more movie recommendations that way. I start to learn who have taste and stuff. I'm so bad with names, so it took me 500 times before I remember John was Jeff. So I'm trying my best. Oh, no worry, Gizmo. I'm called John by people in my family sometimes. It's perfectly fine. I'll answer it I'll answer to anything as long as it's not derogatory. Even if somebody's calling me fat ass and they're being nice about it, I'll probably answer to it. Just as long as you're not being derogatory or mean, I don't really care. Just let's just hang out. We got some more highs going on here. Okay, what we got here? We got I'm messing with you, Johnny. Sorry, I should say hi to people before I start messing around, but only messing around with love. Manly hair love. I need to leave you guys. Dreamland is about to come. Oh, good night, Gizmo. Thanks for popping in. I know it's probably like about 4:00 in the morning or something like that, or 6:00 in the morning your time. I don't know. I know one night I was watching you, and all of a sudden I watched the sun come up, and I'm like, that's really weird that the sun's coming up in your background, and it hasn't been dark very long where I'm at. Oh, all right. Well, I think I know a gift I have to get then.
Yep. Someone's going to Amazon right now.
Find that movie. I only call Jeff here at home. He is all budge. If only you were good at board games. Hey, now, now this is my buddy that I get together with and play board games with. But we get together. We try to get together once every few months, and we'll usually I don't know, go for about 6 to 7 hours playing board games, just hanging out. And I'm all right at them. I'm not the best, but I haven't played most of them either.
To be young.
Let me star that. All right, Corey, you got some new stuff to show off?
Sure, I can go through a couple and then just kind of take turns. I didn't know how much you wanted to look at. I was showing some stuff off earlier today, but I can do some of them again. But I actually just had a few more things roll in here since then. But I was being told I had to see this movie, so I went out and ordered The Room. It's supposed to be like the so bad it's funny or good kind of a
Kane of bad movies.
What's that?
The Citizen Kane of bad movies.
Is that what it? Well, and I ordered it directly. I got it directly from his website, so I got a little picture with a little
nice.
little autograph on there too.
From his website.
Yeah.
I need you to send me the link for that because
I'll do that.
Because I had the link for Amazon. And I'm like, wait a second. Didn't somebody say that he would like write you a little note or something if you bought it from his website?
Yep.
And that would just be. I mean, considering that I know it's not really a good movie, it might be cool to get a memento with it too.
Yep. So I did that. He didn't write it on the case, but had a little picture in there with a handwritten note. So yep, got that in just today, not too long ago. I got over to get that, and then I was doing some Whatnot purchases the other night. We're kind of grabbing a lot of these I got for only a couple bucks a piece or so. We'll see if any of them are. I think most of these, I saw a couple of them, but I grabbed 127 Hours. I heard it was good. I've never seen it.
It is.
So
It's really good.
Got that one coming up. I grabbed the King of Staten Island. I have not seen that one yet.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it. I know Pete Davidson's really, really good in it.
That's what I've heard. So I'm curious to check that out.
Yeah, I've heard good things about both of those ones, but I've never seen either of them before. I actually don't think I've ever seen Pete Davidson in them. I think I've only ever seen him on SNL.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet, so I'm looking forward to checking it out. This one I've definitely seen before, and I actually just never had it in the collection. So, like I said, I got it for like a buck or two. These are all used, but it got Superbad.
Boy, you've never seen Superbad?
No. I've seen it. I've seen it. I just never had it in the collection. Well, I only got it because it was like a buck or two. So I had to grab that one. So
I mean, that you have to have in your collection.
I know. That's where it was one of those. When it was coming up to bid, I was looking and I'm like, I don't have that one. But it's like one of those you surprise yourself sometimes that you're like, oh wait a minute, how in the world do I not have that one? This one I don't remember being like awesome, but like this one literally was like a $1. But Sin City.
That's really good.
The first one, right? Yeah, the first one's really good. I haven't seen the second one, but I hear that it's mixed taste.
Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of the room and that. I have some other things, but I can hold off on, keep rolling around if Johnny wants to hit some stuff or however you want to do it.
Yeah, Johnny got some stuff.
Yeah, I got stuff. Well, of course you guys know, but I've got like 60 titles here. But I am only going to show off like a couple of them because I'm going to do a live stream later. I'll show the rest of them off. So some of these I may have shown on. I know I showed one of them when me and Jeff were on Bob's stream the other night. So I'm gonna start with this one. When we were at, I went to Barnes and Noble just to go look on a Tuesday, and I was surprised that they actually had Conan the Destroyer.
Oh, nice.
Chunky box.
Man,
I need to get the first one, but I can't seem to find it. So I guess I'll have to go to eBay or Mercari to get that one.
I did not expect those to go out as fast as they did. I'm very disappointed I didn't get them.
Yeah, we were doing the Criterion thing last year, and I went to Barnes and Noble because they have their 50% off for Criterions, and they had the big chunky box of Witness, the 4K, and I'm like, I'll come back. I don't think a lot of people's going to be getting that out of print. I'm like, damn it. So now anytime I see a big chunky 4K box set, I'm picking it up.
See, I should have learned at the same time you did, but Witness, because I went through the same thing with Witness. I'm like, oh, Witness will be around, and then it was just gone. And I'm like, wait, what happened to the big box?
No, like I'm not getting. If it comes in a big box, I want to get the big box, but I've got RoboCop and American Werewolf in London without the big box, so I'm like, no, I'm going straight big box now. But since Gizmo has left, I'm going to show everybody here what Gizmo's favorite Pixar movie is. And I picked this up last month, or in the middle of March when we all got back. And I got the steel book for The Wish.
That's
and
a nice.
I still haven't even opened this yet. Yeah, it took me forever to find this thing, but I picked this one up at Walmart.
I mean, according to Gizmo, the steel book's nicer than the movie.
This one I showed off on Mike's when I was on Mega Mike's stream, but I also picked up the 4K steelbook for Major League.
Nice.
This is my favorite baseball movie.
What's on the back of that?
Oh, this is
like on the back of the
Jake
steel.
card, but that's what the back looks like.
Cool.
But it comes
cool.
with a bunch of magnets.
Nice. I might have to scoop that one up. I totally haven't seen it before, so
I have an old Blu-ray of that, but it's a funny movie.
Yeah, this, a lot of people say, they ask you, what's your favorite baseball movie? People are like, oh, it's Field of Dreams or Bull Durham. I'm like, no, it's Major League. Major League is my favorite baseball movie.
nice. Now I've never seen
Bob-
it, but
Bob Uecker is
I
hilarious in
actually,
that.
but I actually like A League of Their Own, the one with Tom Hanks.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know they've
Yeah,
remade it recently, so that's why I had to state that. But that's my favorite baseball movie, but I've not seen Major League, so I can't say that it's better than Major League. So
the reason, one, that was the first one I saw. I hadn't seen Major or Bull Durham or 8 Men Out or Field of Dreams. I saw Major League first, so naturally that's going to be my favorite. But it's more or less like what Major League Baseball players will go through during a year, like how they're treated, by how they hate their owner, how the fans turn on them, and everything like that. So that's why it's really my favorite. And it's the director said the only way his favorite team was the Cleveland Indians. Yes, I said Cleveland Indians. His favorite team was the Cleveland Indians, and the only way he'd ever see them win the World, be good, was to make a movie about them actually being good. So
I love it.
Went to Walmart, picked up Lisa Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Still haven't even opened it. It's still sealed up. And
It's a fun one.
I asked a friend of mine if he'd seen it, and I said, "Have you seen Lisa Frankenstein?" And his response, I kid you not, was, "I'm not a teenage girl, so the answer is no." I'm like, okay.
I like that Catherine Newton that's in there, so I'm kind of catching most of the things that she's in anymore. But
I also picked up, I'm sure both of you have seen this.
I have not seen it.
yes.
Leave the stream right now and go watch it. We'll wait for you.
I've heard mixed things.
I had to go to 3 different Walmarts to find the one with the slip on it. I had to have the slip. This one came last week. Steel Magnolias.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen
And
that
I've
forever.
never seen this.
Wow,
My wife
I haven't seen
cried
it forever.
when she watched this, but I've never seen it. So, and I'm sure everybody is going to or has picked this up.
I don't have that.
What I am going to, I got this idea
Which one?
from Jake from
Oh, Burn Book.
the 4K. Jake from Steelbook Obsessed.
Yeah.
He said he was going to take his copy out and swap the 4K case with the one that came with Barbie, because that way you have a pink one with Barbie and a black one with this, because you've got the black on it. I remember going to watch this. I actually liked it. I like Tina Fey. I like her writing style. So yeah, I had to pick this up since I don't have the Blu-ray of this. It came with that Steelbook. And
Yeah, I've actually
the last one
been tempted to buy 2 copies of Mean Girls just so I can keep one in the pink case and then put one in Barbie. But then there's also I need to find, I guess there was a Mean Girls, the original one came out on Blu-ray in a pink Blu-ray case.
Yeah.
So now I'm looking for the original one on Blu-ray in a pink Blu-ray case, and I'm looking for 2 copies of that because I want to put my Josie and the Pussycats in a pink Blu-ray case. So now I've just went down this whole rabbit hole of I didn't even know there were pink Blu-ray cases, and I shouldn't have known about it.
I think Zavvi has a Mean Girls 4K pink Steelbook out.
Oh yeah.
Now don't hold me to it, but I think they do. And the last one I got in.
Oh yeah.
Nice. I'm jealous of that one because I have to wait. Apparently, mine will be here the day it comes out. So
get your poster.
But yeah, I can't. Ken said this transfer looks amazing. It's stunning. I might open this up tomorrow and watch this. I don't know.
I hear the Steelbook looks better in person than in pictures too.
It does.
I just have an old Blu-ray of that one.
That one
Yeah,
there, Corey. That
Yeah.
this Blu-ray.
Yes.
The old
Yep.
MGM one.
Yep. That's it.
Okay. I didn't even know Arrow had one until like I started messing around with BlueTubers a bit, and then by the time I knew Arrow had one, it was like $50 or $60, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Yep.
I like the movie, but it'll get a 4K someday. And here we
I
are.
was this close
Someday.
to getting that Arrow one because I saw it on eBay, and then that's when they made the announcement it was coming out on 4K, and I'm like, nope, I don't need it now.
Yep. And this is still a 4K that has a
So,
Blu-ray
yeah, that's
disc
what
in
I got.
it, too.
I can show off 3 more if you want.
We'll rotate around if you want to do that in a little bit. I got I'll go through the chat, and then I got some more stuff I can show.
Okay.
And then we'll just rotate around. Okay, so let's see.
Okay.
We got I saw Tommy at a convention throwing a Nerf ball with some kid because his dad bought a poster. Quite surreal. Well, that's pretty cool. He does seem like he might be a little.
Tommy's
odd.
a character.
Well, I thought it was
Hey,
funny.
Holland, how's it going? It's official
Holland.
since Holland's in here.
Holland's here.
So.
Well, it's kind of
Yep.
funny. Sorry, not to go back to it, not to stop you, but the little picture I got where he had my autograph and stuff, it's funny. On the other side of it, it's advertising for boxer briefs and underwear that he sells on his website as well.
Dude's
What?
always going to be trying to make a buck.
It was hilarious. I flipped it over and I was laughing so hard.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Brett the Living Dead. That's my uncle right there. What's up, dude? Thanks for popping in here tonight.
Hey there.
We got
Hey, what's up, Brett?
some hi. We got Tiana calling out Holland. She totally did. Sorry, Holland, but she totally did.
You snitched.
But she's not wrong. Somebody's got to.
Yep.
And she's so nice, nobody can be mad about it. So, Sin City is great. Yeah, I like Sin City. It's quite fun. The Conan looks awesome. Yeah, I really wish I would have grabbed the double pack and just been done with it because they had it on such a good sale at one point for that big one.
Yeah.
I have the double
I
pack
believe
of that
Amazon
one.
was selling it for like $45 for both films.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted it then. What's up, Chris?
Hey, Chris.
My geeky dude.
Hey, Chris.
Major League is another great bit of fun. Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. I'm gonna have to check that out. Moneyball. Okay. That's Brad Pitt, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I've never seen it, but
It's good.
I always hear really good things about it. It was like Academy Award nominated and stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
And Chris Pratt has a role in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
He plays the first baseman that can't play first base.
Yep. The catcher they convert to a first baseman.
Looks like we got some more highs. Okay, and I think we're all caught up. Okay, let me just start it. I mean, it shows.
So yeah, sorry,
we got
I was
that.
jumping in there
We
too.
know- Oh no, we got that. That's okay. Okay, so I'm going to start that. All right. So the next thing I found, and I found pretty much all this in the same day. I went thrifting a little bit, and it wasn't a really good day for thrifting. But I did find these CDs. And it's the original. It's a soundtrack for A New Hope.
Nice.
And it's in like a really nice slide digibook.
Oh, it's cool.
Well, that
I've never
is
seen
nice.
It's got like artwork, and the discs are all holographic. And they got different images on them for the movies. But I mean, most people I know don't really care about music CDs anymore. But man, if you like Star Wars,
But yeah, it's
this
Star Wars.
this is the bee's knees.
Just in time
But I got
for May the 4th, huh?
Just in time for May the 4th. And I had gotten lucky because I found the Empire one as well.
Oh, nice.
And they're all in, I mean, decent enough condition. All the discs were good, so that's what really matters because I can rip them. Because I don't know if this, I'm sure it's probably on YouTube or something, but I don't know if it's actually like on Spotify or anywhere to stream these soundtracks the same way that they are. Because a lot of times, different certain composers retain their rights after a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
And these CDs all came out in 1997. So these were all came out with the special edition.
Yeah.
Because there's the Return of the Jedi as well. So I went ahead and got the whole trilogy. And like I said, they're all really nice, and they all complement each other really well. But they had those kind of rubber banded together and had a $7 price tag on it. And I talked the lady down to $5, just because I'm like, well, how long have they been sitting here? She's like, for a long time. I said, well, I'll give you $5. She said, do you want?
You're haggling with an old lady over CD.
She's gonna go to bed hungry tonight because you.
You're gonna go to hell.
It was a donation thrift store. They paid nothing for it. I had other things there too, just not movie related.
If they pay nothing for it, why should you pay anything for it?
That's right.
I paid something for it. Most cars don't even have CD players anymore. They're lucky that somebody wanted that shit. But I left the flea market, or the thrift store, and I hit up Big Lots. And if anybody watched Bob's channel the other night, I showed this off since we had to keep showing off shark movies. I had to dig through a box of new releases because I didn't have any other shark movies. I had just got this.
Putting your damn shark movies at beat.
I figured for $4 it's probably pretty good. But hey, this was the last one that I had. If you watch that show on Bob's channel, every shark movie I have. I showed every single one. I even dipped into Finding Dory. Like, I didn't have anything else after that. I was using IMAX movies. Like, I don't really have shark movies like that. I picked this one up because I went to Big Lots. The day I went to the thrift store in Big Lots was a day that Tony Basement Blues did a video about going to his Big Lots, and I think it was just like a little short TikTok video or like 2-3 minute video that he re-uploaded. But he pointed this one out, said it was a good get. The history of the Kelly Gang, and it's a Shout Factory, and it was only $4, and it's got Russell Crowe in it and Nicholas Hoult and Charlie Hunnam. I don't really know any of the other names, but I know those three. But I figured for $4, Shout Select, and Tony usually has pretty good recommendations. I don't have very many Westerns, and I haven't seen very many Westerns. So I try to get a few here and there just to kind of buff out. So that way, if I decide to maybe start dipping into it, I actually have some to dip into.
Oh, yeah. We can get you some recommendations on some Westerns.
Yeah.
You got to have some in the collection.
And then, of course, going back to what Gizmo was doing tonight, I did pick up a Blu-ray copy of Big Hero 6 in my find for basically, I think I'm basically trying to get like every Disney movie, because I also scooped up Incredibles 2 Blu-ray. And they had them for good prices. I mean, they said slipcovers on them, and they were $10 and less, so can't really cry about that. But then I left Big Lots and I went across the way to Walmart, and my Walmart still has these, because this was about a week or so ago. My Walmart still has these, and they're still clearance. So if anybody wants what I consider to be a good steelbook for a really cheap price, Lords of Dogtown. My Walmart had it marked down to $7.
Oh, dang.
Oh,
And this was a $20 steelbook when it came out.
Guess I'm going by my
definitely
Walmart
check
tomorrow.
your Walmarts. And I did not find this in my electronics or my steelbook section. I found it in the clearance section, which my clearance section is on the other end of the store. But they put little plastic tabs on them and hung them in the clearance section in the up to $10 section, and they had a stack of them. Nice. So I'm assuming that they're just clearancing these out at every Walmart. And this is a good movie, so if anybody wants that. But then that same day, I got something that I didn't get for a sale price, but I held out long enough, and I got it for, I think, what is the right price. Tony had a Blu-ray, and I almost got it from him when we all met up. But I'm glad that I held out, because I really wanted it on 4K, and that's WandaVision. This show has so many colors in it. I bet the HDR just kills. but Walmart stocked it when they stocked the Mondos, and they stocked it for $45. And I felt that was a fair price to get the 4K, because
Yeah.
they were charging $40 for the Mandalorian Blu-ray, and I figured for $5 more, I'm trying to get as many of the 4K shows as possible, because there's just not a lot of them being made. So, but that's pretty much all of my pickups, except for the box that I got from Corey. But I'll just do that if you guys want to roll around and show off some stuff. I'll do my box last.
Yep. What? It's your world. We just live in it, man.
Yeah. If you want to go ahead and show
just
stuff off, Corey.
I can.
That's the last of my pickups and stuff. I just have all I have left is the box that you sent me.
Okay.
So I'll just do that kind of after you guys show off the rest of your stuff.
Okay. Well, I can just run through these quick, but this was another one I got really cheap. I haven't been lucky enough to find the $20 steel book of all of them, but I got this. This was another whatnot I got too, but I got the Expendables 4 movie Blu-ray collection.
Ooh,
nice case.
With that.
It has a really nice box.
It's got these art cards in it. I haven't opened it up yet, but it was so yeah. No, I got it for a really good price. So I was like, oh, I'll go for that. But
was that another special from our good friend?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yep.
Everybody should go look this guy up on Whatnot.
Toyologist. He's
the best seller there is on there.
He's awesome. He's fun. He's entertaining. He's fun to listen into. And if you can just be disciplined when you do it, you can get some good deals on there. So, yep, yeah, I got that one on there.
I had gotten everything that I bought from him in his stream. I don't know, about an hour into his stream, and I still stayed in there for probably I think that stream ended up being like 3.5 hours long. So I sat there for 2.5 hours just because he's entertaining, not because not because I was buying stuff from him.
Yeah. No, I thought it was kind of funny. He was actually today, no, not today, last night on a stream, on my stream, he jumped in there and said hi. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah. But just going quick, I was on a 50s stream with Eddie, Eddie's films and stuff, and it was going over their picks for top 50s movies, and this was one recommendation they threw out. I haven't seen it yet, but Human Desire. I liked Glenn Ford and this Gloria Graham in another movie I was talking about, and they were like, yep, check it out. So I grabbed that one. One of my streams I had with Evil Live, so Evil and Lady Evil. The movie we watched, I ended up buying it because I enjoyed it, but was Midnight. And then they were also recommended, and I got The Blackening. So we'll check that out. And I never really seen funny. It. I heard they said it was funny. They said it was worth checking out. And I think Dell jumped in too and said he thought it was funny. It was worth watching. So grab that. I got Dr. Sleep.
Nice.
I haven't seen it yet, and I was having a lot of people. I didn't realize how long of a movie it was, but then a bunch of people were like, "Yeah, go for the even longer one, the director's cut that's with this." A bunch of people were saying to watch that version of it, so I got to start. That's not a late night watch for me. I'll watch movies late, but I always usually go for a little bit shorter ones when it's really late.
Yeah, those 100 minutes or less.
Those are nice
movies.
Yep,
those are the ones that are nice to calm down the day with.
Yep. This, I remember enjoying watching this. I have seen quite a few of the episodes before. I don't know about all of them, but I used to have some of the comic books back in high school and was a little disappointed with the movie when it came out. We were talking about this earlier. I still liked it, but I remember liking the animated series better, but I grabbed Spawn animated series.
Nice. So all three of the movies in one complete. Is that complete collection? Is that what that says?
This is the animated series, not the. Yeah. It doesn't have the movie, but it has.
Yeah. The way that I remember them releasing them back in the day was they did snapper case DVDs, and they did Spawn, and then Spawn 2 and Spawn 3.
Yep.
Is the way that they used to sell them. Is that what that is? Is like
yep. It's got all three of them.
Ooh, that's nice. I might have to grab that because I don't have those snappers, but.
They had it pretty cheap on it's DVD, but they had it pretty cheap on Amazon when I grabbed it off of there. Can't remember what I got it for, but it was only like oh man, it was like some reason I want to say like $10 or something. Anyway, either way, it was no, it was like $9. It was under $10 I grabbed it for, but either way,
Nice.
so it was fun I grabbed that. Holland that was in here. This was one of his suggestions for a rom-com. I grabbed Secret Admirer.
That
So
came
that
quick.
Kelly Preston. Yeah. Saw a little more of Kelly Preston than I thought I was going to in this. This was actually a first time watch for me, and I did get it watched, but I don't know. I always thought it was, no, I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it, but that's where I think it might have been Tony or somebody. I can't remember. Somebody said it was a little dirtier than I thought it was going to be when they first watched it or something. So, yep, you see a little bit of Kelly Preston.
So ain't nothing wrong
Yeah,
with
no,
that.
I'm not saying. I'm just making. A comment. I'm not saying good or bad. I'm just saying you see a little bit more of Kelly
He's
Preston
like-
than I thought you were going to.
Johnny's like, that was an extra half a star right off the rip.
Yeah, right. This was another like comedy horror. I don't know anything about it other than a friend recommended it, and it's Final Girls. I don't know much about it. It has a dude from I always blank on their names, but oh gosh.
Is it that kid from Workaholics?
Yes. I was trying to figure out his name, but yeah, you can't see it, but yeah, one of the guys from the Workaholics.
Oh,
just can't stand the sight
Adam
of it.
Devine, or right? Adam
Yeah.
Devine.
Yep. That's on there. You can't stand him.
That dude's done some really stupid roles in movies.
Well, we'll see if this one ranks up with that too, but it's one definitely doesn't look like to take it too seriously. So we'll see.
I think the only one I've seen that I particularly thought that I was like, wow, he's good in this one. He did one with Zac Efron, and I can't remember exactly, but they needed
Mike
wedding
and Dave
crashers.
need dates.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
I haven't
movie
seen
was
that one.
movie was like Wedding Crashers, but dirtier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like it went into the raunchy comedy area, but like kind of Wedding Crashers, but raunchy comedy mixed in.
Yeah.
We just don't get very many of those anymore, so it's kind of refreshing every once in a while.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen that one. I'll have to maybe check that out. Another horror movie that was thrown out. I couldn't remember who all mentioned this, but a couple people, I don't know if somebody said it first, but I know Chris C. I thought he said it was good. And then, I think it was Mika, jumped in too, but I grabbed Oculus.
Well, if Mika says it's good, then it's good.
Nice.
Well, I know Chris and Mika, they know their horror, so I was
Yeah,
like,
I haven't seen that, but
I haven't either. It'll be a first time watch.
Funny enough, right before we started on the live stream, somebody liked a pickup video or a pickup picture on my Instagram, and it was the pickup that had Oculus in it from like 12 weeks ago that I got it in a Big Lots scoop, and I had no idea. I just didn't realize that I had even put a picture of that up. I knew I had it, but I didn't realize it had been that soon. Like I thought I had it a while ago.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I guess it was just one of those ones that was in the stack. And I'm like, wait, didn't Corey just talk about Oculus? Or somebody did on one stream, because everybody's been talking about it recently.
Yep. Nope. I thought it was both of them that, and actually I see them popping in right now too. Mika was saying, yeah, glad you're checking out Oculus. It's a good one. And Chris was also saying, yep, I got Oculus. Yeah, no, very cool. But yeah, so I'll be checking that one out. I heard when you get to know some people on here and you hear a couple of them, like you said, they know their horror, or, other people are different genres of movies. And once you hear a couple of them all chime up and say like, yep, it's good, then I just went ahead and went and bought it. I did get used though, so I got a really good price on it. Here's another Western you can maybe check out. I have not seen it yet, so I can't say whether it's good or not, but I heard it's a dark Western, but I heard it was good, but it was Brimstone.
Okay.
I don't know much about it. It's got Guy Pearce and Dakota Fanning in it and a few others, but anyway, got that on there. And then the last one I'll show, this one was another I got for like $1, but I got the Sherlock Holmes with,
Nice.
Yeah.
So I was like for $1. For
I
$1.
prefer
I've never
the
seen it.
Benedict Cumberbatch, but that's just
What's that?
Nice,
the Benedict Cumberbatch, the BBC show.
I have the full series of that. That was one that my son and I really got into watching, was the when he was in high school.
I think they were going to try to make a movie, I guess, to finally end it, but it's hard getting Benedict and Paul Freeman, I think that's his name, trying to get their schedules to work out and have them all get together for that movie. But I'd watch it.
Yeah.
Well, so it's pretty good. The show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The show. I have the complete series of that.
Because I picked up the first season. I think it was a Hamilton book grab. I just kind of threw a cart because they had it for like $6 or $7 on 4K, and you just don't see very many TV shows on 4K anyways. And I'm like, okay, I'll grab it. And then I found out that that's the only season they did of the show. BBC did some test marketing with the 4K, and that was one of the ones they tried to test it with, and I guess it wasn't profitable enough for them, so they didn't do any of the rest of the series.
Yeah, mine's Blu-ray, but it's
figure if I watch that first season and I like it enough, then it would give me a reason to invest in buying like the complete series on Blu-ray. Yeah, I'm not like I'm not gonna like.
But yeah, it's worth checking out. I mean, you could just sit back and try to just hunt it down, wait for a good sale, or find it used or something, or.
And you could binge the first season in like one sitting.
Yeah.
It's only like 6 episodes or something like that.
Yeah, there's not very many episodes.
I think the first season was 3 episodes.
Yeah, it's short.
Oh.
But they're long episodes, but they're just like
they're like serials or something, and is what BBC calls them, right? Where they're like an hour and a half long episodes. It's basically like watching 3 movies.
Yep.
So not to go off.
Really good.
I agree. I really like him in that. I don't know what made me think of it, but we're talking about BBC and then also seeing Mika in here too. One that I bought off of another series from BBC that I know it's kind of going off, but dealing with cops a little bit and crimes. It's a little more serious though. They had thrown out, it's been quite a long time ago, but I bought, it's Luther is a series at Luther. Yep. It's got Idris Elba in it. I haven't gotten all the way through it yet, but it's a lot darker. But if you the crime, he's a detective in it. Anyway, that's one maybe put on your little list to kind of watch for if you find a good sale, or it's probably streaming somewhere too, I guess. But anyway, it's a good one.
Well, I don't know. I've noticed that a lot of the BBC shows only stream on the BBC One, and you have to do that as like an Amazon Prime add-on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's called BBC One or something like that, or BritBox. BritBox. Yeah,
BritBox.
They keep a lot of their shows locked on that.
They have Luther on Tubi.
Luther's on Tubi. Okay.
Yeah.
Tubi and Peacock. I don't know if you have that, but
oh, it's on Peacock. Okay. Well,
I believe so. That's what this says.
Try to burn through that real quick. I think I have about a month left of Peacock, and it'll be gone. I'm not going to renew my yearly subscription. I got it last year. Last June, they were doing a sale where they gave you a year of Peacock for $20, and it's been a great deal for $20. But I don't know if it's worth $60. I heard it may go up before then. Even
I did the exact same thing that you did, but that's another one too where the seasons of Luther. There's not very many episodes per season, but they're a little bit longer. But
BBC
and Sherlock's on Hulu.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely worth checking out.
BBC was like one of the first ones to start the like the mini series type of setup for shows. I feel like because like they were doing it on traditional TV, and then when streaming got popular, that's the way that streaming was like, oh well, we're gonna do part 1 and part 2 of this season, and we're gonna call this a mini series, and if it takes off, then we'll call it the season. But that's why some shows don't make it another season, some do, but they always just kind of set it up as like an 8-episode mini series now. Which kind of stinks because I missed the old days where like a TV show had 22 and 24 episodes in a season. I miss that. Nowadays, like you can binge a whole season in a sitting most of the time now.
Yeah,
like 10 episodes and that's it.
and they're 22 minutes apiece. So that's a Saturday afternoon.
Absolutely. So no, that's all I have. So.
Okay. Well, let me pop through these chats real quick. It's been about 15 minutes. And then I'm sure Johnny's got a few more things we can see. My number one favorite movie of all time is a Western, The Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean with Paul Newman.
I haven't seen that.
I know I need to watch that.
I've never seen that.
it, but my mom's talked about it my whole life. Emily Hurst disappeared. Okay. That must be another one I'm going to check out.
I think he was supposed to star. I think they're making a John Belushi biopic, and I think he was supposed to be it. But after that, I haven't heard anything since.
Hang on a sec. My chat just did it again. Okay. Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid is a good one with Paul Newman.
Oh, yeah,
that one's a good one.
That's really good.
What's up, Reed? Thanks for popping in. I'm hoping that you stayed around long enough for me to say hi. Sorry about that. Let's see. We got some highs in here. Dr. Sleep. Now you're on my
list.
What?
List.
All right.
Is that what you call it?
You said it again.
Oh, that's funny. Give me one time.
Spawn is a good story. Yeah, Spawn's a good story. Disappointing movie from what I'm understanding.
I thought so, but
I shouldn't. I probably shouldn't on VHS and Blu-ray, but I do. How good is The Blackening, Corey?
I haven't watched it yet. That might be a tonight movie, depending on. I mean, no rush for anything, but if we get done and I'm looking for something to do, it looks like a shorter one. Like a 90-minute type of movie.
Yeah,
so.
I think that one is one of those 96, 97-minute movies.
Yeah, so that's a good one. I love having a stack of those around for the late night movie watching.
So before we met up and everything, I was just using like a standard spreadsheet to keep track of my collection. And Tony introduced me to the Blu-ray.com app on my phone.
Yep.
That has been a godsend. If I'm like, hey, I think I can stay awake for about an 80-minute movie or so, I can just go in there and my movies in shortest amount of time ran to longest amount of time. And once I start hitting that 95, 96-minute mark, I know I've gone too far. I got to pick something that I've already seen. That helps out so much with things like that. Or when you need to do like a decades watch, you can go in there and separate it out by decades. I started learning that I didn't have a lot of old movies.
Yeah.
But
if
anybody doesn't use that app, you should.
I do the really My Movies.
Yeah, I use the Blu-ray.com app.
And it wasn't until I used that Blu-ray.com app that I ever bought. So I was highly against buying Blu-ray multi-packs that weren't of the same franchise. Like I have the Lethal Weapon set that has all 4 of those in there, but I wouldn't get one that had like 2 different horror movies or anything because the app that I was using couldn't track that. As soon as I had the Blu-ray app and I noticed that I could scan in like a 4-pack or a 5-pack of Blu-ray movies, it would actually list each movie in there. The last time Dollar General was doing their 50% off all their movie sale, I went to every Dollar General and bought every multi-pack they had because I'm like, hey, I'm getting movies for $1.25 a piece on Blu-ray, and now this app actually tells me that I have it. So, and you can check sale prices through Amazon, and you can go straight to the Blu-ray.com app from there to find out if it has like Dolby Vision or Dolby Atmos and that kind of thing. So,
talking about the packs that might not be the same franchise, one I found, I was like, I'm almost going to buy it because one of the movies I've been looking to try to pick up, but it was a Samuel L. Jackson like triple pack, and it's Deep Blue Sea, The Long Kiss Goodnight, and Snakes on a Plane. I was like, that's a good mix out there. I was thinking about grabbing that one.
I should probably grab that because for some reason I do not have Deep Blue Sea in my collection.
I don't either. I was looking for that one on our trip when we met up.
That cost me before, Yeah. That's a cool series. I don't know which one she's talking about. I'm assuming the Spawn series just because there's other people talking about Spawn here around the same chat. Chris, animated Spawn. Oh, and she says she loves Mike and Dave need dates. Like I said, I remember that being very funny.
I haven't seen
Maybe that
that
was one that I ended up giving a chance on through Netflix. Oh, hey, Caveman, how's it going, dude? Yeah,
What's up, guy?
Thanks for that, dude. Yeah, hit that like button, everybody. We got Miss Caveman. How you doing?
Hi, Miss Caveman.
We got Mika in here. I know we're way past the Oculus thing, but yes, we're talking Oculus. We were Chris as well. Let's see, some more highs. There we go. Okay, Adam Devine is good in the movie When We First Met. It's a Netflix film. Okay, I'm gonna have to write that one down because I don't think I've seen that or heard of it. Have you guys heard that one or seen it?
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it because I can't stand the sight of Adam Devine.
So that just threw that one out.
It's if you've seen the show Community, he's in an episode of that, and he's just like a whiny fucking baby. And I'm like, I can't stand looking at him. And a friend of mine tried to get me to watch Workaholics, and I'm like, no, because I want to smash his face in with a heavy piece of or cinder block or something.
Not for me.
I want to put his face into a belt sander.
You put some thought into this.
I mean, I get pissed, damn it. I don't like this. I can't stand it.
Oh,
like, dude, the guy's wasting screen time for me. I could be watching something better.
I could be watching Killer Goats or something.
There you go.
And if you like Johnny and the way he likes to go off, go subscribe to him right here. He'll be,
absolutely.
I think there's a nice good rant video on there. I'm sure you'll find at least one.
And there's a video on there of me crying too. So you get both ends of the spectrum.
and he's got a pickups video coming very soon too. Let's see. Mika says Luther is a great series. I'm gonna have to check that out.
It was good. That's how I learned about it, was from Mika and Kira talking about it.
Yes,
The Wire is great.
Oh, yeah. You know,
I've
never seen The Wire. I always remember it coming on and everything. I was way too young to watch it when it came on.
That'd be worth going back and checking out.
But I didn't realize that he had been around long enough to be in that show.
Yep.
So that kind of surprises me.
A buddy of mine, we would always get to discussions about which is the better show that HBO had. You know, I was always, The Sopranos, and he was like, "It's The Wire," and I'm like, "No, you're wrong." And then I finally sat down and saw The Wire,
and it's The Wire.
I'm always Team Soprano, but
you're more conflicted.
1A and 1B, yeah, the B, it's The Wire. I mean, it's just they're like neck and neck. The Wire,
you can't even be mad at him for that being his favorite. You're like, I can't argue with you. I just can't exactly agree.
I can't. I'm like, God, man, damn it, this is such a good show. It's Chalky White.
It's been forever since I've seen it, but it was a good one.
Oh yeah, that's Boardwalk Empire. I don't get my shows confused. Well, you guys mentioned Adam Devine. I'm starting to get pissed off.
Yeah, getting all worked up.
I love how they usually wrapped up. Yeah, except for Doctor Who. They can't ever quit that show. That show just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah.
I don't think there'll be an end to that one.
No.
The Wire is a great one. Yeah. We got some more highs in here. I think we're pretty much right there. Here we go. Damn it. It's not that Johnny hates Adam Devine. He's just unlucky to be a Titans fan.
That's below the belt.
That was a little below the belt. Oh, Mika, yes. That is my favorite. That is my favorite HBO series. I have the big grave plot stone right there.
That's a cool set.
Now I will tell you, I don't know.
It's a weird one.
I might be wrong, but a couple months ago, I went and did a rewatch of the series, and I was going to watch the DVDs, or I went to pull the DVDs out because the internet went down one night. I have to do some more research, but these might be ones that were pressed by Warner Brothers, and this box set may be succumbing to disc rot without actually having any, like, not actual disc rot, disc bronzing, because the disc looks perfectly fine, but I couldn't get it to load up in two different players, and they're just standard DVDs, and there's nothing wrong with the disc. It looks pristine. So I know that Warner Brothers, it owns HBO and all that, but I don't know if they used to manufacture their discs for them or not. And because this is probably a 2006 2007 DVD, because it was right after the series came out. And I know that Warner Brothers has a big slew right now of a whole bunch of disc rot, and just not even disc rot, just discs going bad where they look perfectly fine and they just don't load anymore. So I don't know about that. That might be that, or I might just have a funky disc, or a player might just not like the one disc I tried. But it was like season 3, disc 2. It was so odd because I just had to pull it off because the internet went out, and I was like, well, Netflix don't work without internet.
So that when you're talking about that show, that made me think of one that I have not watched, that I was meant to go back to, but going off of that, I had to look up his name because I always forget it. But Michael C. Hall,
Yes.
doing Dexter.
Yes,
Have you?
I have the whole series of that. That's a great show.
Is it okay? I figured it had to be kind of good because it went for quite a while, and there was a big fan base. But that was one I just never got around to. And I always thought about it.
If I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe the only place it ever streams is on Paramount Plus with Showtime. Like, you have to have the Showtime to be able to watch it, because they don't put it on any other streaming service. But a few months ago, at least at my Walmart, so they might be at other Walmarts, they had a full series box set that had the sister series too, like the sequel series, because there's it came back a couple years ago for another season called New Blood, and you can get both series together in a DVD box set for about $60. And it would be worth getting. It's a good series. It's a good series.
From what I saw of Dexter, because I haven't seen the entire run, but I think I've seen maybe the first season, and I'm like, this is really, really good. And then I heard John Lithgow with, when both of them are together, I mean, you really despise Lithgow, but his performance is so amazing. I'm like, now I want to get Paramount Plus again with Showtime, so I can sit down and watch those.
See, and I have Paramount Plus through my Walmart Plus, so I don't pay for it. And it's like, okay, well, if I add my Showtime to it,
you have to pay for the full thing.
To it, it makes my Walmart Plus about, or maybe even a little over $20 a month, and then I'm like, it's not really worth it to me anymore at that rate. But that's just a little too much. Like, I don't know. I wish you could still do Showtime separate, but they've stopped that now. Like, I think they're about to get rid of the whole Showtime brand altogether and just be Paramount, because you can't do Showtime separately anymore. I wanted to get the Showtime app, like a month here, a month there, and just kind of do my binging. Because their stuff comes out on DVD, but sometimes it takes a while for Showtime. Which is crazy because it's all CBS and Paramount actually supports physical media pretty solid, I feel. All the Paramount Plus original series make it out on at least the DVD, and most of the time a Blu-ray as well. Hell, some of the Star Treks even have 4Ks.
Who knows what's going to happen if Sony buys Paramount?
Yeah, they put a bid in for it. I don't know. I mean, Sony at least makes good discs, so we won't have an issue with quality. But to be fair, I don't think we've had an issue with quality out of Paramount for a while now. I don't think we've had a bad Paramount. Maybe, I guess you could consider Footloose to be bad, but besides Footloose, we really haven't had a bad one since Escape from LA, when they had that sound issue. So, I mean, Paramount usually does pretty good transfers if you didn't buy a bunch of their Blu-rays.
I got to check. I got Footloose up there. I need to watch it again.
Yeah, I was told Footloose. I've just heard it's bad. I haven't bought it. But to be honest, to me, my opinion on a bad 4K is a bad 4K is probably still better than the Blu-ray that came out previously for it. Yep. In almost every case, a 4K is an upgrade. It's not too often where the 4K is worse than the Blu-ray. The only point in case is probably Terminator because they did the wrong transfer for that. But I have not seen any 4Ks myself where I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna stick with the DVD, forget that, or the Blu-ray, forget this. You know.
I mean, I had
We
my
have our pros
issues
and our
with
cons.
Titanic.
Is it bad?
There's no film grain, none.
Oh, now see Titanic. This is me being a 3D snob. I have Titanic on 3D, so I'll probably never upgrade to the 4K anyways. But that's just me being like a 3D snob.
Well, it's not really
I
being
mean,
a snob if you're happy with it, you know? It's like,
Yeah.
why spend the money if you're good with what you got?
Well, and I still get 2 discs to watch the movie, so I have an intermission.
There you go. Yeah.
Because James Cameron, he did that with his avatars as well, to make sure you get the best like 3D and sound. The Avatar movies and Titanic are both split onto 2 3D discs, like 2 50 gig Blu-ray discs. So, I mean, that's not too bad. I mean, that's like that. He's basically making sure you get a 100 gig file of a Blu-ray of a 1080p, so you know you're getting good sound out of it too. To me, when it comes to that, at most of the time, then I don't feel like I need to upgrade to the 4K because that Blu-ray disc usually has a 2D on it as well, and at that point, it probably upscales fine in my Sony player. So, I mean, I'll buy a couple of them. I'll rebuy a couple of them, but not every one.
That's the thing, though. If you're happy with what you got, if you're happy with the quality of it, that's like me too. Where you could take that money and buy something you don't have in the collection. You know, if you get a different title in, if you don't.
I'm trying. Like, this is a good point. I did upgrade and I got rid and I purchased my old Halloween movie. I love Halloween, but instead of having six different versions and copies of Halloween, I'd rather have 5 other movies to go with that Halloween.
Yeah.
Right. I only have so much space in my room, and I want a variety of films, not a variety of one film.
Right.
I mean, hell, I'm probably going to get rid of my Killer Clowns Blu-ray, and this is one of my favorite movies. I'm probably going to get rid of it when I get my 4K, because what's the point in having the Blu-ray? I'm going to end up probably giving it to my son or somebody, but I always pass it on to other people because I don't need. I need that other spine spot for something else. Probably another Kino Blu-ray, you know.
Those were a lot of the ones that I brought along on the trip. Were ones that, you know, a lot of them were Blu-rays that I bought a 4K for, and it's like I don't have a ton of room, and so I'm kind of the same way. Unless I'm going to lose something, unless the Blu-ray has. Sometimes they have some really cool commentaries or special features on the Blu-ray, and they don't always go over the 4K. There's been a couple I've held on to because of that. But if it's got everything and more, I'll do something with it.
What I do.
Well, like case in point, I got Tony was able to get me a couple of those Disney movie clubs, and he got me the Three Musketeers, the one with Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted that because I have the DVD and it looks like. But it just looks bad. Like it's an old DVD. And I was going to purge it once I had the Blu-ray. Well, you turn the Blu-ray on, there's no subtitle features, there's no sound features. It's play movie and scene selection. That's it. When Disney put that on Blu-ray, they put the bare bones. I look at my DVD, there's a full 25-minute featurette on the DVD. I'm keeping the DVD for the featurette alone.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not really sure why they pull features like that away when they're upgrading movies, you know? It's terrible.
I mean, you've got more space on a Blu-ray disc than you do a DVD. So, I mean, why not just port it over?
And what's sad is that that's a Disney Movie Club exclusive. So that's what they were selling people that were hardcore Disney lovers. They took away a feature for somebody that's like a hardcore Disney lover because you can't buy that movie anywhere else, at least not yet. My fingers are still crossed that Sony's going to get some of those club exclusives to maybe start putting out in the stores. I hope, because I missed out on so many of them.
I'm hoping for like Armageddon, The Rock, Con Air. I'm hoping for Sony to give those a 4K treatment.
Yes.
But you know, I think we were supposed to get. I think Mill Creek was supposed to have gotten access to some Disney titles, and that never materialized.
Yeah, I'm wondering what's up with that because Walmart bought a big stake in Mill Creek too. So I was
Yeah.
kind of assuming that at some point we might have like a little section of just Mill Creek stock. I mean, most of my Walmart, the TV shows are all Mill Creek anyway, so they already have 12 foot a section just in TV shows from Mill Creek for the most part in my store. I figured maybe they'll take away some of those TV shows, maybe stock some movies there. I mean, Walmart, like I said, Walmart has like a 55 or 53% stake in Mill Creek now or something like that. And Mill Creek Distribution, like whoever their distribution company is. Walmart bought a stake in that, which is kind of crazy to think about because they bought a stake in that. And then like a couple months later, Best Buy's like, hey, we're going to make you have to take all of our shit too. So now I think Walmart right now, they're just having a problem trying to figure out what to stock and where to stock it.
Yeah. And when to stock it.
And when to stock it. Because I went on Tuesday to my Walmart hoping to get me a new release this week. They didn't have anything. I settled on some $15 vinyls, which was fine. It was cool to get some clearanced out vinyls.
Yeah.
But they didn't have any of the new releases. And this was a week that Mean Girls came out and the new Disney Steelbooks came out and all the spots were empty. I'm like, right there's probably $90 or $120, somewhere between $90 and $120 I could potentially want to spend if the product was here for me to touch.
Yep.
I'm one of those people that if I see it, I want it more than if I just see an image of it on the internet. I can kind of hold off a little more than adding it to the cart and checking out. But if I'm in the store and I see it and it's in good condition, I'm kind of like, okay, I'm taking it home with me now. Like, So, which, I have some friends that tell me I need to get past that because I'm going to lose that someday. So maybe they're right.
Until then,
but I have Orbit kind of close. So if I need to, I'll just drive out there once a month and I'll get my fix. Even though every time I go to Orbit, they tell me, you can order this stuff on our website. And if you're going to buy this much, it would be free shipping. That's what they tell me every time. If you're going to buy this much, it would be free shipping anyways. Just order online. But you guys were in there. Like,
I won't get damaged. I mean,
yeah. I mean, you guys have been in that store. If you had the opportunity just to drive there versus having it shipped, wouldn't you just kind of drive there anyways? Like,
it's fun to look around.
Of it.
Yeah,
it's fun to look
There's
around
not
there.
very many locations like that anymore, just in general.
No, it was fun, and that because they have so many, not just regular releases, but all the different box sets and stuff. I was just looking at that back wall forever. I was just sitting there, and the guy was like, "Just let me know if you need me to help you or something." I'm like, "Oh, it's okay." I'm just drooling for a little bit, just looking across all of those. And
that back wall behind the counter is dangerous. I got that's how I ended up with that Chucky box set on the way out the door.
I remember seeing you grab that.
Like, you want anything else? And I'm like, let me see that Chucky box set.
Yeah.
And then I'm sitting there and I'm taking so long. Ryan's beside me going, this is bad. You need to hurry up. This is bad. I'm seeing more stuff.
Yeah, it's like you want to stop looking, but
it's such a good store, and them guys are great in there. Like I would just tell anybody just to order from their website. Like
they ship really well too.
Get damaged. And if you do get it damaged, I've never had that problem. But if you do, I know that Mark would work with you. You could just send him pictures, and all that. Like I'm sure he would, because there's not very many things that do get damaged because they pack well.
Yes, they do.
But if something was to happen, like the very first time I ever went to Orbit, I actually kind of had what some people would call a bad experience. All of the used movies I bought, they forgot to pull the discs out. So I drove 2 hours back home with empty cases. And I had to email them. I emailed them and I said, hey, I got to talking to the guy at the register, and it was totally my fault because I just kept talking his ear off. He forgot to put my used discs in the case. I had them 3 days in my mailbox, 3 days later in my mailbox. Like they turned right around and shipped them right out to me. Like they were really quick about it. Like anybody else would have been like, oh, I'll never shop there again. But as soon as I emailed them, they were like, we wondered what had happened.
Yeah. Well, and they're quick on their website too to point out if there's any type of damage whatsoever, and they'll sell it differently than brand new. And even when we were there, there was an end cap of their damage section. I don't know how many that we were pulling up and like looking all over that was like, what's the damage? And it's like, maybe this little thing here. And I mean, so it's kind of cool when they're, in a day and age where you're getting everything in a soft package from Amazon or Walmart or something,
Yeah.
it's like crushed. I mean, they're just like, oh, there's a little crease there. That's damaged, and they sell it that way. But no,
I
they're
mean, hey,
cool.
they know their market, and a lot of us are like, nah, I ain't paying full price for that.
Yep. Well,
Well, let's see.
and they know if they take care of you too, you're going to come back there as
Yep.
well. And
Exactly.
and then now we're talking about it on a live stream, and they're getting, you know, free advertising because they treated us all real well in the past, and we're talking about them.
Caveman, if you wouldn't mind putting in the chat, because I'm not sure, the Pop-Tart movie, if you know where that, if you can let us know where that's streaming at, because I know that is it Netflix? Okay, because I know that's Jerry Seinfeld's first directed movie. I'd like to give it a go. He may not get many of those. I mean, he is getting up there. So I think I have the Brave slip you need. I'll check when I get home in the morning. If I do, I'll send it to you. Yes. Okay, cool. I might have all slips for all my lenticular slips for my movies, my Disneys.
It's the little things in life.
Videos for them all. Hey, I've been working on that collection for about 13 years now. So 6 Feet Under, top-notch show. Yes, it is. That is one I haven't seen. Always want to check out Boardwalk Empire. Yeah, I'll have to check that out too. 6 Feet Under.
Yeah,
where Ben Foster got to start. Okay.
The last season of Boardwalk Empire is not as good as the others, but it's
also like Dwight
goes back in time and then goes forward, and you're just like, ugh.
Oh, they time jump in Boardwalk Empire. Like, I mean, I know that they don't time jump, but like the story does. Yeah.
I think like season 4 ends in 1920, and like season 5 will start in like 1925. You know, they just do a time jump. You're like, wait a minute, what the hell? Then they go back in time. You know, when Nucky's like a little kid. I mean, it ends the way that you would think it would end. You're like, okay, there's no way that this show should end any differently. But how they just keep going from back to forward, and I'm like, my head began to hurt, and I was throwing things around.
Is it one of those things where like you're already so invested into it by the time they get to that, you just have to kind of bite your lip and just go with it, so that way you get to the end? And
kind of like,
and does it pay off? Does the ending pay off for the way they do it? Yeah. Okay.
Like
well, I'm glad to have that little notion of, hey, they're going to to you. It might aggravate you a bit, but the payout's good. So that's nice to know.
Yeah, because when that last scene, once it happens, you know, before the credits and all, you're like, that's exactly how I would have ended it, and that's how it should have ended.
Perfect. All right, Corey, it looks like we got some people in here harassing you about Dexter.
I know. I got to get on that.
Got to get on that. Love 6 Feet Under and Dexter. Dexter was my favorite of the two. That's very fair. That's very fair. I know that some people love him in Dexter and are like, oh, he could never do as good as he does in Dexter. And there's shining moments in 6 Feet Under where he's better than he is in Dexter. But that's just, in my opinion, that just shows how good of an actor Michael C. Hall is. I just think he's a good actor.
Mm-hmm.
I hate Paramount. The streaming quality sucks. It constantly buffers when I have to watch it. I don't use Paramount very much to notice that, but I'll say that I have that issue with HBO Max, especially now that I don't pay for the top premium, and I have like that middle tier, where I don't have ads, but I don't get 4K and I don't get Dolby Atmos. What I do get is I get buffering.
I got that like same package too.
Yeah, that's the one I got.
Because they were like, you can
watch the Jinx, the second season, whatever, of the Jinx, and that Trouble on the Quiet on the Set.
Oh,
I just started watching that before we came on live tonight.
Yeah, see, I remember when they upgraded, or they did the package. They were like, okay, you're going to be able to keep your Dolby Atmos and your 4K for 6 months. And then in 6 months, we're going to remind you that the price changes or you can keep what you have. And then when it came around, I was like, you know what? you're not getting me for $3 more for what I've already had. You're going to get the same amount of money from me, and I'll just take your lower quality. Because I mean, it does stink to lose the Dolby Atmos right after I got a Dolby Atmos setup, but my discs have it, so whatever.
Yep.
Like Warner Brothers is kind of making me mad with that, anyways. The only thing I've been happy about the whole rebranding was that I got some Discovery Plus stuff, so I can watch some of my guilty pleasure renovation shows.
Yeah.
I have a guilty pleasure of those. I have memories of watching Spaces and stuff like that with my grandma. So I like to go in there and watch some of those Discovery DIY shows every once in a while. Plus, as a homeowner, it's kind of nice to get crazy ideas. John Lithgow, yes, he is. He's one of the best villains on Dexter. Honestly, his acting in that show gave me a whole new respect for him, just in general. Like, I knew he could be funny because of Third Rock from the Sun, but I did not know he could be sinister like that, like he was in Dexter. He's super sinister in Dexter. Definitely wasn't Colin Hanks. You know, I don't even remember Colin Hanks being in it. I love sexy NPR voices. Be sure this is kind of cool right here.
Yes.
Yeah, guys. Yes, exactly. Sometimes not much of a difference between the Blu-ray and the 4K. That's why I don't hark on it too often. Now, if something gets announced that it's going to get a 4K, I kind of and I don't already have it, sometimes I'll kind of get myself into that mindset of, okay, well, now I'm going to finally buy it, and I don't care that it's $28.99 for a movie from the 70s, 80s, or 90s, because it's a first-time purchase for me in my collection.
Yeah.
And I know that in the 90s, anyways, my parents were buying laser discs at $50 and $60 a movie. So who am I to be so upset about getting an even better quality of the movie for about $30 in today's world? You know, that's not too bad. What irks me is when Universal says, oh, there's not much of a difference between a 4K and a Blu-ray, so they release a Blu-ray, and then 6 months to a year later, they release it on 4K, knowing that people that initially wanted the 4K would buy it again, when they should have just released the 4K at the same time. Yeah. I really don't care. It doesn't bother me that they've stopped packaging Blu-rays in with 4K releases. And the only reason is because I was a day one Blu-ray adopter, because I had a PlayStation 3, and I do not recall in 2007, 2008, 2009, none of my Blu-rays came with DVDs. I was just buying Blu-rays to buy Blu-rays. Yeah. There was no such thing as digital copies. There was no such thing as combo packs. None of that stuff.
I think they started doing that when sales weren't quite taking off, maybe like they wanted to, because there was too many people that still were hanging on to the DVD players and didn't have Blu-ray players. And that was kind of like hey, if you buy the Blu-ray, you're kind of doing your upgrade path. You know, you still got your DVD, you can watch it now, but then when you get ready to get a Blu-ray player, you know, you got the movie sitting there. Because
to be honest, I might be wrong about this, and if Tony's in here, he would know if I'm right or wrong about it. But I feel like combo packs for Blu-ray started very similarly around the time of 3D Blu-ray, because the 3D Blu-rays would come with a DVD, a 3D, a 3D, a 2D, and a digital copy. And I don't recall there being a lot of combo packs before that, because I just recall always getting Blu-rays. Now, I do recall that in about 2000, I guess it was probably about 2008. I know that Blu-ray wasn't quite taken off after it won HD DVD, and they were taking some of their very early 25 gig discs. And what they would do, because my Walmart had them, it's how I really boosted my Blu-ray collection in the early days. It was a lot of Lionsgate Blu-rays. There were some 20th Century Fox ones too. But what they would do is they would take two Blu-ray cases and glue them together, and then wrap them and sell them for $15. But I got some great movies for $7.50 a piece. No DVDs in there, but you know, they were just the Blu-rays. But like I said, I don't really recall getting combo packs for Blu-rays until about 2010. So I the first 3 or 4 years that I was buying Blu-rays, it was just because I wanted to buy Blu-rays. but I didn't really have my first job until right before Blu-ray was a thing. So I mean, I had a couple hundred DVDs, but I purged my DVDs before I ever even started. Like I had Blu-rays and I started looking at how good Blu-rays were. And I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna purge my DVDs. Everything will come to Blu-ray someday. And there's DVDs I sold them that still are not out on Blu-ray. Like I was a very optimistic 16-year-old. They'll give me everything I want.
I hung on to my.
I was buying it all on Blu-ray, and they'll give me everything.
I was hanging on to DVDs forever. It took me a while to go to Blu-ray. I'm glad I did when I did, but I held out for quite a while because I had so many DVDs at the time.
And I could see how people that like, because I remember getting DVDs when they were new. Like I remember my parents coming home with their first DVD player that was a DivX player as well. And the DivX discs were $5 DVDs that you had to connect onto the internet. And you could watch it as many times as you wanted to for the first 24 hours. And then after that, you had to pay to rent it or, well, pay to view it. It was basically a pay-per-view. You basically paid $5 for 5 times and then you owned the rights to it. But then the disc was DRM. And this was DRM in like 1998, 1999. Before 2000, this was like DRM because you had to have it hooked up to a phone line and it would ring out. And then when they shut down the service, shut down the server, all those discs became coasters because there was no server for them to ping back to. That's why I'm so like flabbergasted that people ever got behind digital, because Circuit City already showed us once that we didn't want DRM movies. That's why DVD won. That was actually the first disc format war where they actually had the same format in the actual player. Like I remember that because my parents came home with snapper cases of Rush Hour and Blade. Those were the first DVDs. And then they had a DivX disc and it came in a jewel case CD. That's how you could differentiate the formats. And the DivX disc, I think, was Halloween H2O. And once they realized that that's the route it went, they're like, yeah, we're not going to do DivX. We're just going to buy DVD because we own that. But the difference was that a DivX disc was $5 and the same movie on DVD sitting next to it was $30. So they got you on the cheap right now. We're going to get you later. And they still do that with digital now. They still do it with digital now. That's what's crazy. Like we learned our lesson like 25 years ago, and I guess we didn't learn our lesson. So Tony was in here.
Yeah, my wife's got like 2,000 books on her Kindle. And I said, you realize you don't own those? She's like, what? And I said, no, you don't, because I mean, they can pull them off and you lose it. She's like, what? And I said, why do you think I have a room next door to us and it's filled with movies? I own that stuff, so I can watch it whenever I want.
Yeah, I mean, my wife still buys plenty of books. If it's a physical media, I'm still all about it because I've never been into the Kindle thing and getting digital books. If I get a digital book, I can just download a PDF file of it. So I'd rather just buy an actual book.
Yeah,
because they're going to sell me basically a PDF file for about the same price as a book. Now, I get where people say, oh, that's good for the environment and all that, but there's just something about the experience of, cracking open a nice book.
Yeah.
I mean, we all get that. We like cracking open a nice DVD. It was funny because my wife opened up The Princess Thief. And the reason why I know this is probably still a DVD from 2001, 2002 when it came out, we busted open the seal. She opened it up. She's like, it doesn't smell new. It doesn't have that new smell. I'm like, no, it's been sitting in a warehouse for 22 years. It lost that new smell already.
Yep.
Yeah, time has passed.
We still got True Blood. That's a good one. HBO Max is horrible for streaming. It is. It'll just buffer. Like earlier, I was watching some Big Bang Theory, and it was like none of the jokes could land because almost every time the joke was about to hit, it would buffer. And I'm like, well, this isn't a good way to watch Big Bang.
No.
I was actually just watching some hockey on it before we jumped on here. That's one interesting thing too. Them dipping into the. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say it's weird that they're jumping into sports now too, and that it's
Yeah. Well,
the
they
whole-
kind of
but
have to because none of
do
the
something
streaming
else.
services seem to be profitable. So they're trying everything they can. And they know, no offense, Johnny, I'm not a big sports guy, but this is no offense because I know you like your sport. You know, I know you like football, but they know that sports people will pay to watch their sports. They know it. That's how they're going to start getting people into different streaming services. They're going to cut deals with NFL this season. Next season, they'll have NHL next year because NFL went to YouTube for a year. And that's how they're going to get people to kind of jump streaming services is probably sports. The bad thing about it is Disney now owns ESPN, so they already have their toe in 95% of sports already.
Yeah.
I'm not, like I said, I'm not a big sports guy. That's just what I see from the outside as somebody that doesn't know much about sports.
Yep.
I mean, because they're doing the same thing with wrestling.
Baseball is going to be the next one that's up. And who's going to
That
land the
doesn't
right
surprise me.
Major League Baseball? Yeah, because the NBA is always going to be in bed with ESPN and NFL. They got their thing with Google now. So Major League Baseball was where all of these regional sports networks are going belly up. So they got to find a place to air this stuff.
Well, is
Apple or Amazon?
TV wise, or well, not TV wise, I guess broadcasting wise, isn't MLB still TNT TBS? Like, isn't it still Turner that kind of runs their games?
They, well, like primetime games and like the playoffs and stuff like that. Yeah, they have deals with them, but like just like tonight, my wife's in the other room watching the Atlanta Braves game. And it's you can either watch the Dodgers feed from their announcers or the Braves feed with their announcers. But now if it's like a special event game like Sunday Night Baseball, that's ESPN's thing. They do all of that stuff. But if it's like a regular Tuesday night, they'll have their own home announcers and away announcers.
See, that's what always confuses me about it, because like I always try to dabble with sports a little bit here and there. You know, of course, I watch the Super Bowl and like the WrestleManias and like the big event. But I tried to dip into XFL, and of course, COVID killed that.
Mm-hmm.
But I was trying to dive into it because I'm like, okay, I can start off with a sport here, and I can learn the rules as everybody else is kind of learning the rules. I can see how it goes. I can get behind a team from the beginning. Mm-hmm. This is how I want to get into sports if I'm going to get into sports.
All right.
But my biggest problem is they aired games. There were only 8 teams, but they aired games on 4 different networks. So I had to have access to Fox Sports. I had to have access to ESPN. I had to have access to, I believe, Amazon Prime at the time, and then ESPN2. Yeah. So it was like I needed 2 different ESPNs, a Fox Sports channel, and a streaming service to be able to watch just 8 different teams play if I wanted to watch all 8 teams. And in my opinion, somebody that's trying to get into a sport, I want enough access to kind of determine what team I want to follow rather than just, you know what I mean? So that was like my best way into it. But then COVID killed all that anyways. And so that wasn't anything I could get into and follow. But from the beginning, I was able to kind of follow it, but I just found it really hard. So it sounds to me like all the sports are like that, and that kind of sucks.
Because you're having to jump from this channel to this channel to this channel to this channel to watch your favorite team. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I could see how that could be very aggravating just to follow your favorite team around. That's why I'm kind of surprised that teams themselves don't sell memberships like on their own, like on their own browser or something. You know, oh, you can come here for I don't know, $50 a season and stream our games.
Well, baseball does. I think they're doing that. They have we have the MLB ticket because where we don't have traditional cable. We just have, streaming, and we're able to pay, I think, $25 a month, and we have access to every single baseball game that's being played, unless it's on ESPN or the playoffs or whatever, which we understand that. But they also have a way to where you can just your team and you get access to your specific team, all of their games for the whole year for like maybe $60 for the entire year or something like that.
But you
That's
have to
not
be out of
bad.
their market, though, right?
I think
Because
so.
I think that's what I ran into where
Yeah.
it really sucked with where I'm at. I don't consider myself close to any team, but when I was looking into that and I tried it out, they had a free trial of it, but I'm considered home market for the Cubs, the White Sox, the Brewers, the Twins, the Cardinals, and the Royals.
Yep.
I'm considered home market for all of those.
Yep.
And I'm not close to them. I can't pick it up on their local broadcast or anything. So
Yeah.
that cuts a ton of games out then.
Yep.
Wow. So okay, so yeah, I don't really like Amazon Prime's UI streaming UI or playback either. But to be fair, I can't speak on it too much because I pay for Prime for shipping because I'm out in the middle of nowhere, and I've kind of had an Amazon Prime bill since the day I moved out of my parents' house
Same.
because it's just easier for me to get things that way. I sometimes forget I even have streaming to them, and sometimes
hardly
somebody will
ever
recommend me a
use it.
movie. Like the most I've been using it is when somebody in the community is like, oh yeah, I suggest you watch this movie. I'm like, where can I watch it? Oh, it's on Prime right now. I'm like, oh,
Yep.
and I'll go to like load up Prime every time. This happens every time. This app needs updated. That's how little I use it. Every time I get a recommendation, it's on Prime. I have to update the app.
Most of the time I'm
Well,
jumping
you
on there
look-
now
you-
because they are picking up some of the NFL games and
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, and now from what I understand, if I go on, they're going to give me ads because I didn't
Unless you
upgrade
pay
my-
more.
my plan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Unless
and
you
it's
pay
like
more.
I didn't even pay for you for streaming anyways. Like the streaming is kind of like a little bonus. They have some good shows on there. I enjoyed The Boys. I haven't finished it. I'm not caught up on it, but I enjoyed The Boys, that Invincible cartoon. And there was a really good one with David Tennant called Good Omens. That was a lot of fun. But I don't think any of that's come out on physical. And Amazon's hit and miss on their streaming shows coming to physical.
I think
Yeah.
I thought The Boys got a physical release.
yeah, actually I believe it
may
did.
have.
I believe it did.
Yeah, it may have. I got the when that was Hulu. Never mind. I know that they brought out the Jack Reacher show on Blu-ray.
Yep.
Yep.
And
Yep.
that's Amazon. That's why I say I know they're kind of hit and miss because some shows do and some shows don't. Paramount.
Boys.
I still think Paramount's probably our best bet in terms of the streaming services bringing their streaming stuff to physical because they tend to be doing it better than the books. Oh, that's a hot take. Miss Caveman, so true about Paramount's buffering, so annoying. Yeah, but I mean, all physical media lovers for a reason, guys.
Yeah.
Hometown is a wonderful home remodeling series on Max. Let me know your thoughts. Hometown. Let me take that suggestion down real quick. I like watching TV shows too. We might need to do some streams talking about TV shows every once in a while. I've had a few people ask me if I'd be interested in talking TV shows because not a lot of us do. But I know I have a few people that watch my streams that they're like, hey, you want to talk some TV shows? I have to do that some. We love Hometown. Watched it last night. Okay, well, that's okay. I'm glad I wrote that down. Combo packs were really created for HD, DVD, even on flippers. Yes, that is true. That is actually the very first time I ever seen a format combo was HD DVD. You're very right about that, Caveman. But I tend not to think about that too often because most people would be like, okay, that doesn't count, like because it's HD DVD, but it does count. But I mean, in terms of like successful format and Blu-ray and everything, I don't recall seeing bundles until a few years in. And like you said, Corey, I think it was to pick up sales. DivX sucked, period. Yeah, it did. When DivX died, I convinced a lot of people to buy the players to get a more affordable DVD player. Yes. And then speaking about HD DVD, the reason why I got me an HD DVD player back in the day was because I already knew it was a failed format, and my Walmart was selling the player for $50, and it came with the Bourne Identity and 300 on HD DVD. But at the time, it was the best upscale DVD player you could get for a brand new 1080p TV. So you could upscale your DVDs really well in the player. So for $50, I got a really good upscale DVD player. And I tried to tell others to do that too, but I don't know how many people actually did and how many of them ended up in landfills, you know. I have physical books, but do select. I seldom select audiobook. Well, audiobooks are nice because a
I'll
lot
do
of times
audiobooks.
a lot of times it's easier to listen than read, and sometimes
Yeah.
people can read out loud faster than I can read quietly.
Well, that's where I was saying I've said this before in other streams where I'll admit I'm a slow reader and I like the audiobooks. I'll do that quite often. But a lot of times you can, like our library, I forget the app name, but you can like check out audiobooks from them now too. So it's kind of cool. You don't have to even buy it if you don't want to. But
That's cool. Let's see. Chris C. I'm done with the NFL and most other sports, just MMA and combat sports for me. Hey, fair enough. I mean, we know MMA is fully real. Like, and then people are getting punched for real.
Yeah. Those guys get the hell beat out of them. So I got respect for them.
I used to watch Kentucky basketball, and we would turn the volume down and play the broadcast in the background. Oh,
Yeah.
that's actually a smart idea.
Yeah, I'd do that.
Huh.
I'd do that with Alabama football games, and my dad would do it with his god awful Tennessee Volunteers shit. But, yeah, he would always turn down the volume on the TV, turn up the radio, and they would have it's a local feed here, and he would watch that shit, and I'd end up leaving the house because I can't fucking stand Tennessee football.
no Tennessee orange for you, huh?
No, God, I hate that shit.
All right. Well, Johnny, I know you said you had a couple more things you could show off. You want to show those off real quick, and then I'm gonna open this box up live that I got from Corey.
All righty. Well, also on my trip to Barnes and Noble, I picked up a movie that I've never seen, and it gets a lot of hate, especially nowadays. And it is
Oh, Gone with the Wind. I haven't seen that
I've never
forever.
seen it.
I was glad it was like 40% off of $13. So yeah, I had to pick it up.
I mean, under $10, it's considered a classic. I've never seen it. I went to a restaurant one time with my wife that was all themed Gone with the Wind, and they had all these really nice posters up. And when you walked in, it looked like you were you walked into a restaurant in the 30s or 40s. Like it looked like it was about that time, and they had all these really cool, like it looked like original movie posters in these like really nice glass lit up marquees. They had some really nice food too. I can't remember what the name of it was, but it was a themed restaurant. And I'm like, man, this must be a really big movie if they're theming restaurants around it. Little did I know movies are bigger than food. I didn't know that when I went to that restaurant.
Yeah. And I'm trying to build up my A24 collection. So I got this from Amazon with the slip.
I've only ever seen one A24 film. I'm trying to acquire a few of them myself, Johnny, so I can watch a few more. I've only ever seen Talk to Me.
They have some good ones.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying, yeah, they have some good ones. I like just recently I saw Civil War in the theater, and I enjoyed that one.
I showed my wife the trailer for that, and she's like, "That looks pretty good. Well, do you want to go watch it?" No,
I'd say it's depressing, but I really want to see Iron Claw. I still haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah,
there you
I
go.
had to pick up Iron Claw.
Nice.
And the last three, I went through hell trying to get these. I pre-ordered them off of the Disney Movie Club, and then it just took forever and ever. But I was able to finally get True Lies.
There you go.
The Abyss.
Yep.
And Aliens.
Got the trifecta.
Nice. I might be the only one that did not get all three. Like most people got all or none. Like most people were like, I want all the Cameron movies, or I don't care about any of them. And I was the only one that was like, I just don't really care about Aliens. I've never seen it. I've never seen it before.
Oh, it's a good one.
I have my quadrilogy set. So I'm kind of like I was kind of sticking to the mindset of, since I have access to watch it, I should probably watch it before I buy it yet again. It's one of those things. If I save my money, I can get a different movie that I don't already have. And I hear that the Blu-ray is still a really cheap. But The Abyss,
I
I had never seen The Abyss before, and that was great. It looked good too.
I'm in the minority. I like Alien better than Aliens. I think it's a better movie.
Well, I'm not going to fight you on that. I like both of them, but yeah. So if you could say that, I wouldn't sit here and argue with you either, because I like both of them, and they're quite a bit different.
Yeah,
movies.
the one's more sci-fi horror, the other sci-fi action. So
Yeah.
I mean, if you go into Aliens thinking that you're going to get a sequel to Alien, you're not going to get it. If you're going into Aliens thinking you're going to get a kick-ass action movie that happens to feature an alien, you're going to get it.
Okay. Well, so I had actually never seen Alien until Tim did his 70s community challenge.
Mm.
And I started watching everybody's videos, and I'm like, wait a second. I have Alien here, and Alien is literally in everyone's top 70s movies.
Yeah.
I can't make a list and not have this movie in my list because it must be in my list. It's in everyone's list. So I mean, you know, so there was just some classics I really needed to push through because I had never seen Jaws either. I literally watched Jaws and Alien for the first time back to back. That was a great night, actually.
That's a good, yeah, that's a good one.
That was a really good night.
Sure.
But Alien was one of those ones where it was like I watched it and I'm like, you know, 40 years of hype isn't overhyped. Like it's worth every bit of the 40 years of hype.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you get those movies like it's just my, you know, obviously this is just my opinion on it, but some of those movies where everybody's like, oh, it's a classic, it's been out for 40, 50, you know, years, and I watched it and I'm like, why is this a classic? This is boring as all get out. But some movies just aren't for me, and I get that too. Oh, hey, you left the Vinegar Syndrome tape on here. You know that's valuable.
Well, I that's why I used that box. I used that box because I figured you would enjoy seeing that on there.
Oh yeah. No,
I used a lot of the
did
paper they
stream-
did too, so there's a ton of paper in there. So sorry.
I did a stream, or I was on a stream with somebody, and they were talking about Vinegar Syndrome tape, like the boxes were. They're like, yeah, the tape on the box is worth money. And I don't remember who it was. It might have been a Gizmo stream. I could be wrong about this, but somebody in the chat was gullible enough to actually think that the tape, the actual Vinegar Syndrome tape, was collectible or something.
Start posting it on eBay.
Yeah, it's like, well, what do you mean? Like they were gonna rip it off the box and like hang it on the back of their wall or something, along the backs of their shelves or something like that.
Oh, good God.
Oh,
Well, I'd like you to send that back to me then, please. No, I'm just kidding.
okay. So Corey, of course, Corey knows what's in here. Johnny doesn't, but Johnny was actually, it's kind of crazy because you guys were both with me in person when I found out this movie was coming out from Vinegar Syndrome, and I was excited. I was excited. Johnny was a little mad at the moment, given circumstance, because we were at a very unsatisfying dinner when Vinegar Syndrome announced this. But I was happy. I was on cloud 9 at the time because they announced, Vinegar Syndrome announced that they were releasing the ICP documentary of the United States of Insanity. And this got a theater run and the whole works. Like it's a legitimate documentary and the works. My buddy Mark that was in here earlier, he went and seen it in Atlanta at a big theater. And it had a sold out showing even. But this is nice. This is nice. It's even nicer in person than it is on the internet.
Did it get you okay?
Huh?
Did it get you okay? Is it in good shape?
Oh yeah, this is beautiful. This is beautiful.
Good.
And this is what they used for the poster art at like the theater and everything. Because like I said, this got a theater run. It was one of those like independent films that got a short run, but heck, it's got a concert on here and everything. So I knew this was coming. You know, I had told my mom about it, and
it just took me forever to ship it to you.
Well, when I told my mom that we were doing the stream tonight, and she was like, "Oh, you got your box from Corey?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "When did it come?" I said, "I believe it showed up on Monday." She said, "And you haven't opened it yet?" I said, "No, I'm going to open it live on
Yeah.
you know, just when we go on stream, I'll open it live then." And she was like, "That's very good of you. That's very well behaved, very well mannered." She said, "You know, you have a really cool ICP item in that box, and you haven't opened it." But I knew
I'm
I wanted
surprised
to get
how
on here and chit chat about it a little bit.
I'm surprised how fast it got to you. Honestly,
Some stuff gets to me really fast. Some stuff takes forever. Like my Kino stuff, I'll order it 3 and 4 days before anybody. Like I'll order my Kino stuff 3 or 4 days before Ken does his live talking about the things that he should pick up. He'll do his order, then he'll do his pickup video where his Kinos already showed up, and my stuff is still processing. They have it, or it's shipping, or it's lost in the mail, or whatever. My Kinos tends to take about a month to get to me, and I'll order it the day the sale goes live. And they're just like, "You only buy from us when sales happen. You get put on the end of the list." Like that's how I feel.
yeah, and they have a lot of people buying at that same time too. So
yeah.
there should be something else in there too, man.
Okay, what do we got in here?
You might have to dig for it.
I'm trying to make sure I don't accidentally get the shipping label put on the camera there.
Oh yeah, please don't dox me.
Yeah, I'm not trying to dox this, but I was trying to open it up for full live reaction. Is this a book? Oh, dude. Okay, cool. I remember when
You don't have that, do you?
I do not have this.
Okay.
I remember when it came out, and it was just one of those ones that I never picked up. I think you had to get it through a certain website for a little while, and then it finally did pop up on Amazon at one point. But yeah, the Steve Miller Juggalo book.
Nice.
It's basically a biography, or not really, but I guess you could say it's like a biopic in book form on the whole like Juggalo movement. It talks about the I haven't read it. I've watched videos people talking about it. Let me see. There's like a quiz. There's like pop quizzes in here and trivia and whatever. But like I know I just seen it. Here we go. Like they got pictures and stuff of just different symbolizations and signs, and then they have like pictures of the music festival that they've been doing for 24 years, and concert footage, pictures, and just kind of like the whole movement, kind of like it's basically just kind of breaking down everything and comparing it to like the Grateful Dead movement, that's basically what it is. It's the Grateful Dead movement of the 90s. But this is really cool, Corey. I'm definitely gonna read this, dude. This is awesome.
No, I'm glad. I'm glad you didn't have it. I probably should have said something first, but I was like, they had it on Vinegar Syndrome site as well, and so
they did.
Like,
okay,
yeah.
so maybe you can't get it on Amazon.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I knew that there was some. I knew that there was only somewhere. I knew there was a certain place that you could only get this. Okay. Now this right here. What's cool about this book, this says right here, photos by, can you read that? Dustin Hazen?
I can't read it.
Is that legible? By Dustin Hazen. I actually know that guy.
Oh, cool.
He's a it says the cover photograph is by Dustin Lane / Hazen. Hazen is like the name that he goes by as a photographer. But he does music festivals just in general. He kind of started off just like taking photographs for ICP, which if you're good at that, you can get a lot of work for it, just because if you ever seen one of their concerts, obviously they throw lots of soda and stuff. So for you to be able to get good pictures and good video, you got to know what you're doing. So that guy was able to, I mean, obviously his picture was used for the book, but that guy was able to build a whole photography, like career out of just taking like pictures at the ICP gathering and like other concerts. And now he does all kinds of music festivals for this grounds, I guess campgrounds is what you would call it, but they do music festivals there all year long. Basically, he's the one that does all the photographers for the actual grounds. So, and he does really good photos and everything, but I actually know that guy. He's really cool. And his wife streams on Twitch under Cupcake, and she makes I'm sure you've seen me drinking out of them, and I have them in my background sometimes, but I have special like ICP resin dipped Yeti style cups. They got like ICP graphics on them and everything. And his wife makes those. So but that's just really cool because I didn't know that that was his picture on here. This is cool, dude. I'm very thankful for this book. This is awesome.
No, it's cool.
It might have been Vinegar Syndrome that actually had the rights to sell this. That they might have been the exclusive place for selling it. And when they announced that, I maybe didn't know what Syndrome was, so I didn't pay no mind to it. And that's probably why I just never ended up getting it, because I do try to get most things, but. Yeah, that's awesome. I appreciate it, man. That was a really nice surprise. That was nice.
Cool. I hope you enjoy it. And you were so excited about it, and I know nothing about them, so I had to grab a copy of that movie too.
Awesome.
I'm gonna be watching that, and I'll have to compare some notes with you maybe on it sometime.
Yeah. Now, so I have watched this. If anybody wants to watch it as well, it used to be. I don't know if it is now, but it used to be on Pluto TV at one point. And it may be on Tubi now, because I know that their movies that they made are on Tubi. So the company that picked up their movies may have picked this up as well. But like I said, this is a legitimate documentary that was not done by them. This was a whole third party that went in there. And this documentary is actually, of course, it's like based around ICP, but really it's based around the Second Amendment. I'm bad on my amendment, but the freedom of speech. Like, it's a whole documentary about the freedom of speech and how the government was basically, like, they basically take the story of ICP and making Juggalos a gang member. They basically take it and turn it into a story of why it's wrong for them to do this to a musician group of fans, because it's basically taking away your freedom of speech. Because they basically said that Juggalos were a gang because they could sell 10,000 concert tickets at any given time, more or less. And that there were certain crimes with people wearing this necklace and that kind of stuff. So at a certain time in about 2013, 2014, if you were pulled over with wearing one of these, you could have been arrested, or harassed. There were people that had their kids taken away and all kinds of crazy stuff. And like I said, this whole documentary dives into it and really explains it a lot better than I'll ever be able to explain it. I was just kind of a part of it because it's tattooed on my body and I wear all the shirts. And I mean, I've been John Doe Juggalo on the internet since 2006, so It's not easy for me to hide it. So when they classified us all as gang members in 2010, it was kind of a crazy moment. But they went. This is like I said, this is about their march on Washington, because they marched on. We all went to Washington in 2017 and marched on Washington on the Capitol, and basically like told the FBI, "Hey, you got to take us off the gang list. We're not really gang members. We just like music." So that's basically what this is. What's really cool about it is that it does say for the special feature that it has an ICP concert in it. So if you do end up getting this, and want to see what I call a good time, go watch that concert. It's possible that concert I'm in that crowd. So I'm not really sure, but that's what I call a good time, is one of their concerts.
Yep. So no, I'm looking forward to checking that out too. So yeah, it looks like it's on a couple different things. Caveman threw a couple out there, and I think it's on Prime as well too. But
oh yeah, okay, yeah. Like I said, I don't really know, because I know I watched it when it first came out. But when it first came out, you had to go to the company, because this was independently made. That's why it came out through ETR's label on Vinegar Syndrome, because it was independent. It was an independently made movie. And the people that made this, the only way you could watch it when it first came out, the way they funded it, was you pay-per-viewed it through their website and streamed it in a web browser.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I watched it. And I never watched it past then. I remember like a year or so ago, somebody said it popped up here on Freevee or Pluto TV or something like that. But like I said, I stream so little, being a physical media guy. So I'm probably going to bust it. I might bust that open tonight. This might be my watch tonight. I'm very excited to get it. And like I said, I'm very, very excited about the book.
I'll have to check that out too. But
very
it's kind of
happy
funny now that I've met you and know a little bit more about it. I mean, I've heard of the group before and everything, and the concerts, but I didn't really know that logo and like your chain that you're wearing. And so now, even since I've met you, there's a couple other people I've ran into on YouTube and gotten to know, and I'm like, hey, I recognize that. And one guy just recently, he's like pulled it up and he was like, yeah, and he started talking about going to concerts and stuff, and he had like pop bottles that he kept from when he's like, yeah, I got hit in the head by this one at such a show, and I got hit in the head with this one and this show, and I was just kind of funny. And he's like kind of talking about him.
Some of them keep their bottles. I had a bottle for a while that I was going to hold on to and get them to sign it or something, because it was from my very first concert when I was in high school. I went and seen them. Well, my mom actually took me to see them. My mom took me to the first concert of theirs.
Yeah.
And I got hit in the forehead with a bottle, and my face paint, because I had painted my face paint was like embedded into the bottle because it hit the top of the bottle, hit my head so hard.
Yeah.
So like it was in there, and I had it for the longest time. And I don't know, I became an adult, realized that wasn't like a thing to hold on to as an old pop bottle. And I'm like, I'll never meet the guys anyway. So what's the point in keeping it? I never thought I'd meet them. Well, then last year we went to the gathering, and on the drive up, like we're in the car, we're on the way to the festival, I'm watching a YouTube stream. Now, I'm one of the luckiest people ever in this world. I can't even lie about it. Like, I could lose everything I have tomorrow, and I'd still consider myself lucky. I'm in this stream on the car ride to the campgrounds, and these guys are doing a live stream like we're doing tonight, and they're like, hey, if you're in the chat or whatever, tonight you're going to have a chance to win a VIP meet and greet with the clowns. And I was sitting in the car just killing time. You know, we had a 10 or 12 hour drive to Ohio from where we're at, and I'm in the chat or whatever, and I win the VIP. And the kid's like, okay, go ahead, hold me. And I say kid because I didn't know he was a kid at this time. I say kid because I'm like, like 34th time, and well, this dude was like 21, 22. So to me, he's a kid. But he's like, yeah, just get a hold of me on Discord. We'll go through everything. Well, the festival was like a 4-day festival, and my meet and greet that I won was the very last meet and greet of the whole weekend. So I'm just telling Bree, I'm like, yeah, I won it, but I'll believe it when it actually happens. You know, I got to go through the whole festival, the whole 4 days. I'll believe it when it happens. And then I met up with the kid, and he's like, here's your stuff. And I got to go back there and meet him.
That's cool.
So,
That's cool.
That was really cool. And I didn't have my pop bottle no more. So I ended up I was wearing a jersey, and I'm like, you want to sign my jersey? So I just had him sign like a kind of expensive basketball jersey, because it's all I had on me. Because up until the moment I was in that line, I didn't even realize, I really didn't think it was real. You know, I was kind of just so, I'm like, I've been following these guys for like 25 years of my life, and you just don't get this. You just don't win this kind of stuff. And
that's cool that you get to do that.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So something like this book, like I'll always remember that, man. I'll have Alzheimer's, and I'll never forget where these come from. Like I remember things like that, because a lot of people just don't think about. I mean, I say that, but that's wrong. A lot of people, at least a lot of people I know personally, they hear Juggalo, their first mind is me. Like they're like people I went to high school with, they'll see me share a post on Facebook, and they'll be like, oh yeah, every time I hear anything Juggalo, I'm always thinking that about you. I remember you in high school, like that. So that's kind of cool that like that continues to carry on, because nowadays most people don't really dog on it as bad as they used to. You know, most things from the 90s are just kind of cool now, whether they were cool in the 90s or not. Like people like Limp Bizkit now. So, you know,
there's always some of those things that people liked at the time. Then the cool thing was to hate them, and then they kind of come back around, and it's like them again.
It's like I was telling my mom, it was like when I was in high school and like middle school and stuff, I always felt like I liked the things that like people thought were dumb. Like nobody liked the stuff. Like, but I never really told people I liked it, because I was more or less, I was like, well, nobody my age really likes this. It might not be cool, so I'm not really going to express it. And now all of a sudden it's cool to like certain things. And I'm like, I've always liked it, but I was too afraid that I'd be laughed at about it. So
yeah,
it's just one of those things, you know, like I'm a big Power Rangers guy, but it was not cool to say you liked Power Rangers. And now if you're like me and you have every series on DVD, you're the cool kid. like I had all these Scream or all these Shout Factory Power Rangers DVDs before I ever knew what Shout Factory was, because they were Power Rangers. Mm-hmm. So just one of those things, because in the 90s, you were not a cool kid if you liked Power Rangers.
Unless you were a child. Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm going to roll through this chat real quick because we got a few of them in here, I think. Let's see. Gone with the Wind was such a good story. I love stories that are told well. Hey, good stories told well last forever. Classics never go bad. They might have to put a disclaimer in front of the movie to go along with certain time, but classics never go bad. Awesome pickups. I think she's talking about yours, Johnny, because that was about the time.
Yep.
Iron Claw is such a great movie. Waiting for the 4K. Yeah, Caveman, me too. Because I bet it's 4K digital on Vudu. So I don't know, A24 50/50 shot that it might get like an Umbrella 4K or something like The Lighthouse did. Aliens got me to see Alien. Otherwise, I would have never seen it. Fair enough. For those that don't know, Caveman doesn't really like horror movies. So with Alien being more of like a horror style movie, I'm sure that he just always looked the opposite direction for that. So having the action movie probably did make that a little better for him. Let's see here. Yeah. Yes, Corey needs a background. That's become a topic in a lot of the streams you're in is a background. I did hear that you were getting the Killer Clowns poster though, right?
Oh, sure. Yeah. No. I mean, I wouldn't have anything against it, but no, I don't have one. I do have some movie posters. Maybe I'll have to try to figure out a way to get some of them up or something.
Awesome gift, Corey. Yeah, Mom, if you want to borrow it and read it sometime, but definitely let me know. Yeah, First Amendment. Yeah. Second Amendment is right to bear arms, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, something like that. I just know I have rights to speak my mind and hold a gun if I want. That's all I know. Lots of stuff is on Pluto and also on YouTube. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is, Caveman. And if you're YouTube Premium, which a lot of people are that are in this community, just because it makes it easier for us to all watch each other's content and stuff, you can watch a lot of that free with ads without ads. It's listed as free with ads, but if you have Premium, you don't get ads at all. My favorite memory is our first concert in the Gathering. You took me to. Awesome times. Aww. Yeah, my mom parties like the rest of them. I tell you what, she can hold it down.
She's a trooper, huh?
Well, I told her I did the Gathering this year. This wasn't last year. It was the year before. Somehow my wife was amazing enough to be able to get me to the Gathering 2 years in a row. That woman's amazing. But we took my mom last year, and I told her, I was like, I'm gonna take you to the Gathering. She's like, I think I'm too old. I said, I don't think that matters. I already bought your ticket. And then I took her, and she totally rocked out the whole weekend.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
good memories. That's stuff you'll always remember, right?
Oh yeah. And the first one I went to, the first Gathering I went to, I was the Brett of the Living Dead that was in here. My uncle. I had bought tickets for me and my buddy to go. We were going to hop on a Greyhound and just ride up there. I was like right at 16. I had just turned 16. We were going to hop in a Greyhound and go. And we got to the Greyhound station over in Chattanooga, Tennessee, which is about 2.5 hours from my house. We rode over there and we were there. My friend had his bags packed and everything. And he was like, well, I don't think I'm going to go. He was like, so you just go ahead and have a good time, and everything. So I basically drove the Greyhound all by myself up there at like 16. And I was just going to go to the whole festival and everything by myself. And then my uncle popped up and he was like, hey, did you get your 2 tickets? I was like, yeah, I got 2 wristbands. I was just going to try to sell one at the gates. He was like, how about I get one of those and I come party with you too?
There you go.
And then he ended up having to work because they used to do them Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then everybody would leave on Sunday night, would leave Monday morning, and they've kind of changed the dates around a little bit. You'd have Sunday to get back home and be able to get back to work on Monday. But back then, they would actually close the festival out on a Sunday night, and my uncle had to work all the way through Friday afternoon. So as a 16-year-old kid, I'm at this music festival with probably 15,000 people, aloof to the world as what the world really is, for all of Wednesday night, Thursday night, and half of Friday all by myself. He comes and I'm laying in basically like my tent's halfway, like kind of sticking up, and my tent's laying in like a mud puddle, and I'm like, well, I've been sleeping. And he's like, have you been eating? I was like, no, I spent all my money on t-shirts and CDs. I would have probably died. Like,
Sounds about right
that's,
for
that's always
music
fun
festival.
stuff. Like that's just something that like, I could get Alzheimer's and I'll remember those things. That's just those are just things you get to live with forever. And like I know that Corey, I'm pretty sure Corey, you're doing it next year, right? The California thing.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the gathering that you were talking about, and I was like, I might be too old for that.
The California thing. So like talking back about things forever, I'm going to bring my oldest son for that trip, and that's just something that I think me and him will get to hold on to and keep forever as memories. Even if we don't get to do a whole bunch of stuff out there, just getting to do something like that and experience that with him, it's going to be great. And if you want to next year, you could come as well, because I'm actually trying to pull off the California trip and the gathering next year, because it's going to be it's going to be their big 25th, and anything that has a big 25 always goes all out. So I'm assuming it's going to be like one of the best ones, just because 25 is a big number. So hey, you're more than invited. I always take a car full of people with me when I.
I'd probably hurt myself.
So the year I went with mom on an RV just to make sure my mom was comfortable enough there. I got an RV because I've camped out of my tent. I camped out of my car, no big deal. But I was like, hey, I'm taking mom this year. I'm going to get me an RV so she don't have to sleep in that hot Ohio summer, because that Ohio summer ain't easy on nobody.
Sure.
You could be 16 and it's still going to kill you, but it's fun. Yeah. And you'll never have another experience like it. Let's see. We got Caveman. We may be 55, but we grew up with Eddie Van Halen, Floyd Zeppelin, Bad Company, and the Eagles. So we know how to rock. Yeah. I still love all those bands. I listen to all of them bands, Caveman. Oh, Corey knows what's up. Corey or Holland knows what's up. Corey at the gathering. Yeah, we're gonna get in there, Holland. That's our new hashtag for the year.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd survive that one. Probably be lots of fun, but I don't know if I'd survive it.
Hey, the grounds are so big, you can literally sit on a hillside and just jam out to the music, or you can ride little carnival. They literally have carnival rides where you can just sit on tilt-a-whirls and carnival rides and stuff. And there's people that go there and just sit on the tilt-a-whirl the whole time and just do the Ferris wheel and just walk around the grounds. Don't even really do the festival. Like they don't even do the music and actual like crowd thing. They just do the walking around the festival thing.
Taking in the sights, huh?
Van Halen is my all-time favorite, Caveman. Corey, the gathering is rocking. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And see, and my mom would go again, and I even I even abandoned her and my wife one night. So last night we were there. I had been trying the whole week to get up with my friend that I had met on the internet, which is this guy right here, this bear hat. Speaking of, there's a big box right here. I'll be doing an unboxing on my channel. This guy's name is Brian Kage, and he's a DJ out of Detroit. Juggalos know him as Kuma, and he's been producing music for ICP since like 2006. And I discovered him playing video games on Twitch, and me and him have become real friends. And finally on the last night, because he works for him and stuff. So when he was at the gathering, he was working it. Well, on the last night, he comes riding by on a golf cart, and we're all sitting here on this haystack underneath like this gazebo. And I'm like, bye guys. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm going. And I just run away from him. I'm like, yo, and I jump on his golf cart. And then I just all hanging. But hey, dude took me backstage. I got to go check out stuff that like most people don't get to check out. So, I mean, I had to leave him hanging a little bit.
That's cool.
Let's see. We got Adam in here. Hey, Adam, dude, thanks for popping in, dude. Yes,
hey,
yes. I'm hoping to meet you next year. Right? Adam's over that way.
Yeah.
Right. And
yep.
In the same area as Huck. So.
Well, I mean, I don't know how close, but yeah, he's over. He's in Cali.
As far as we're gonna come to get there, a few people might have to drive a little bit to get to us. because from East Coast to West Coast is a really long distance.
Yeah.
If you're only like an hour away from where we're going to be at, please.
I
come
still think
see
it'd be
us.
fun. I want to go on one of the flea market runs with Adam sometime.
Yeah, that
Swap
would be
meets.
fun.
I think
So,
they're
Swap meet. Okay, sorry, I can't remember what people call them. I go with whatever.
we
I
call them
guessed the
swap
wrong
meet.
one today. The thing with the place with the used movies. I'd like to go do one of those. That'd be fun.
Go haggle with the gypsies.
Because the ones he goes to looks like they have way more
And just
movie
remember-
wise.
And just remember, as you walk around, talk about knowing what bootlegs are, so you can get them for $1 a piece or less. That when that guy knew we knew exactly what we were looking at, he was like 75-cent DVDs. I'm like, like, oh, this is only on Apple TV.
Yeah.
You got some screener copies. Jane, have you heard "Distance" by Son Wolfgang? Yes, Caveman introduced me to that song. That's a beautiful song. Everybody should go check that one out. And if you don't know where it's at, just get a hold of Caveman on Instagram. He will definitely send you a link for that song. Yeah, he sent you a link. Oh, mom's listened to it. All right. Let's see here. We got Adam. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Adam. Yes, only about an hour. Okay, so I'm assuming you'll make that drive to come kind of check us all out. Well, it takes us a little bit longer than an hour to get to California, no matter which way you slice it. So I would really like to meet Adam. He seems like a really cool dude. And there's
For
my
sure.
brother. So hey, everybody's met all my family now.
Get to
Thanks
meet
for
them all.
popping in, bro. And then we got, hey, and Fish popped in. Hey guys, just got
Hey,
home
Fish.
from
Hey,
work.
Fish.
Hey, oh, I think we're just about wrapping it up. We've all showed off all the things that we got. Fish, I will real quick show you what Corey got me just because I was so excited about it. But he got this for me as a nice little surprise gift. And he sent it along with this that I knew I was getting from Vinegar Syndrome. Like he told me he was getting me this for Vinegar Syndrome. This was just a nice little bonus. But I figure I'll show those off because that was the main point for the stream. Anyways, I just happen to have a few other things I could show off. But thanks for
It
joining
wasn't
in,
just
Fish.
to hang out with the Johnny and I and
Yeah,
have
I was
our-
gonna say, it was
No,
to
I'm
hang-
just
it
kidding.
was to
I'm
hang
kidding.
out and- it was
I'm
to hang
joking.
out and talk and a box for you. Like I said, my mom was flabbergasted that I let this box sit unopened for almost a whole week. She's like, there's an ICP item in there and you haven't opened it yet? I'm like, yeah, because I want to hang out with the guys and talk about it. So let's see. Huck has a swap meet as well, so probably will be closer to hit up if still around. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's what we're talking about, a year or so out, maybe a little bit longer than a year from right now. So you guys keep going and shopping those swap meets open for us. You guys just got to spend all your money there in the meantime. We got to tell Huck that because it sounds like it's Huck's swap meet. Just got home as well. Good stream, keep up. Yeah. Let's see. Of course, I'm taking a week off and will be up as much as possible. Nice. Cool. Yeah, because I don't think so I know that some of the guys have talked about doing like Disney World, or whatever's over there, Disneyland.
Land.
I don't know which one it is.
Land. Yep.
But I know that some of the guys have talked about that. I'm assuming because they want to see it, but they also want to make some like content and stuff for their channel. That's going to be the one thing that I'm going to skip out on because I feel like the one in Florida is probably better. And my almost 17-year-old next year is not going to give two craps about Disney World. He already told me he doesn't. So I'm going to save my money and not worry about that because I'd rather just take my two younger ones to Disney World in Florida. So if everybody's planning on doing that, that's the one thing I'm backing out of. I'm not going to worry about doing that. I might just be hanging out in the pool.
Yeah, if I can make it out there, the one thing I would think would be cool to go check out is Amoeba Records.
Yes. I want to
Amoeba
go
Records,
there.
yeah.
Yes. I definitely want to go to Amoeba. So my problem is, I've been talking to my friend. I've never flown before, so this is going to be like a whole lot of new experiences.
Oh,
all
for
at
real?
once. I'm going to be very like high. high anxious probably for most of the week until I kind of like settle down, and then it'll be time to say goodbye. But but my buddy had told me to save a lot of money and time and hassle just to get 2 bags. Get your carry-on bag and then one that you hold. Like you have a hold bag that you put under your chair and then one you put above your carry-on. And just make sure you put all your clothes on your carry-on. Then you don't have to worry about checking in and checking out luggage and it getting lost, and you save a lot of time and hassle. So my thing is I'm going to have to ask Adam or Huck to send my stuff back to me so I can, it'll be more affordable to send all the stuff I pick up over there. Because if I buy some stuff over there at Amoeba Records, it'd be cheaper just to have them ship it from their house to my house than to put it on an airplane and as like a carry or as a package that could get lost.
Okay, go.
I have more confidence. Yeah, I have more confidence in FedEx and in UPS than I do the airline. Better come with a bankroll. Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing though. That might be where I don't have to worry about a bankroll, is I can only send so much stuff back to myself before it gets too expensive and not worth it. I just want to pick up a couple things. I'm like, maybe enough just for a small box, like maybe about the box that you sent me, Corey, just so I have a few things where I'm like, I picked this up movie hunting with Huck, or I picked this up movie hunting with Adam, because how many times in my life might I get those chances to do that with them guys? You know, just like with you guys, I have movies in my collection that both of you guys handed me, that every time I pick that movie up, well, that was a Johnny recommendation. Oh, that was a Corey recommendation. I'll remember that forever. And I like having things like that in my room, you know, like that kind of stuff means a lot to me. So,
for sure.
So I figure I'm going to be getting a few things over there just to have in my collection to remember them guys by, and anybody else that ends up popping up and that kind of thing. Let's see. Locals tickets to the events. Oh, wait. So that means we have, well, yeah. I don't think, like I said, I don't think I care about the Disney thing. I'd rather go and do like a studio tour, you know, something like that. I think that'd be really cool and different. Like there's nothing like that over on the East Coast. We don't have, you know, Paramount Studios, Universal Studios. We don't have any of that. And I hear, I might be wrong. Someone would have to correct me on this. Huck might know better. But I hear that they do tours like five days out of the week at Paramount. So
they could. And I know like there's also the Universal Studios park over there too. And I think they have like the Psycho House and like a Jaws thing and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. That'd be kind of cool to be able to go walk on, you know, a lot if one of them does tours, to go check out some stuff like that.
Well, I think I read somewhere that Paramount, you can literally just show up on the lot and they just do rotating tours all day long, like Monday through Friday or Tuesday through Saturday or something crazy like that. Like it's 5 of the 6 days of the week. They just rotate tours all day long through Paramount Studios, which the reason why that's cool for me is because my son wants to be behind the camera. He wants to do storyboarding and and stuff like that. So like, to me, this trip is a lot more, not only about me getting to see things I've never seen, but giving him an insight as to what he thinks he's interested in, kind of deal. Like he'll get to see things that, you know, it might actually push him to the other side of the country away from me when he grows up, but I want him to do the things that he wants to do. And this is a perfect opportunity for him to see things that he wouldn't get to see any other way.
Yep, for real.
Could ship it through Media Mail. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Caveman, is I just get like Huck or Adam to send my stuff back to me through Media Mail. That's way cheaper than the airplane. Yep, figured shipping back would be easier. Okay, so see, I think people have already been talking about this. I think they are already figuring that out. I'd love it. I'd love if we did a studio tour. Oh yes. I think Fish is supposed to be going too. Okay, cool. So I feel like a lot of people are kind of on the same page as me. Like that would be a cool thing to do. Like I said, I'm not trying to like take away from what anybody else wants to do, but as an East Coaster, I just kind of feel like Disney is a waste of my money when I could kind of do that here, and I could drive to Florida easier than I can fly to California, and I can get just as good of experience at Disney World. But we're not really a Disney family like that. I'd be more interested in doing the Nintendo world. So that's why I think California, for me, getting to see like the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Doing like a studio tour would be cooler.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Universal
different things you
Studios
could
is
do.
much more. Yeah, Universal Studios is much more suited for the movie crew than Disney. Okay, there we go. See, there we go. That's what. So maybe we'll all decide on doing that over like the Disneyland thing.
Well, and if you're out there for a full week and you're out there with that many people, that doesn't mean
There'll
everybody
be
has to do the
there'll be
same
people doing
things every single day. You know,
different things.
you could all kind of just do your own thing and meet back up later.
Yeah. I just know that like if I want to do that studio thing, I'm not sure if I'm spending the whole week there. I might end up flying back early. Only because this trip will be the longest amount of time me and my wife's ever been apart in 13 years. Well, by that point, it'd be 14 years. We've not been apart more than like 3 or 4 days at one given time. So she's a little worried about that. And I might even be a little lonely, even being around all the wonderful people I'll be around. A week might be a little much. So we haven't really decided on that. I mean, I think she has, but I think I'm just gonna have to go with what she decides. But I think I might be flying back a little early from that whole week trip. So Universal sells discount tickets to locals. Okay, well, Caveman's given the information out that we need. We need to be getting all these California peeps to buy our tickets for us ahead. All right, and it looks like people are just throwing in subscribes and stuff. I will pop these up real quick, just so that way if somebody's watching on the replay, they see them. There is Fish. Or wait, that was not Fish.
That was Adam.
He said it was Fish, but that was Adam. That's Adams. It says please subscribe to Fish, but that's Adams. That's Adam the Movie Hunters link, and then here is Fish's link. And if you're in my stream and you're watching this right now and you're not subscribed to them, I don't know what you're doing watching me and not subscribed to them. And same with these two fellas right here. If you guys want to, I think I can figure this out. I'm going to go ahead and blow you up if you want to say what you got kind of going on. Corey? Oh, actually, I didn't blow you up. How do I just moved you. I think I have to hit these 3 dots. Okay, here we go. If you just want to kind of say what you got going on.
Oh, I'm just, I don't know. I was just taking a look here. The only thing I'll throw out is this coming week on, I think Friday, I got Allie coming on, and we're going to do a movie club hangout, chat, and do, she wanted me to, she could not believe that I had not seen Pineapple Express before. So we're going to be checking that one out together. So other than that, there's some other things coming down the line. I'll try to post them when I got them, but just kind of plugging along here.
All right. I'm actually really excited about that Allie stream because she just did that one with Bob, and it's just really cool getting to see people that don't have like a whole lot of content, a whole lot of channels, still get in here and interact with us and do stuff with us. Because as far as I know, she doesn't really do content, right? I know she does some Instagram stuff.
Yeah, just kind of Instagram.
She doesn't have a YouTube channel.
No, but
she's a major supporter of everybody as far as I can tell. She likes all the same statuses I'm liking, and
she has the knowledge. I told her before, I was like, if you ever wanted to, and I just don't know if she wants to, and that's cool. You know, it's not going to be for everybody to do it, but yeah, she knows her stuff, especially, I mean, all kinds, but she loves her horror, and she's got a lot of great knowledge with it.
Yeah, like I said, it's just really nice that she's coming in and starting to do streams, because I don't feel like I've seen her really in a stream before. She did the one with Bob last week or a couple weeks ago, I guess now, and now she's going to do the one with you. And I'm like, well, that's just nice that, you know, we're getting a nice little mix of people that don't necessarily push content out. They're just movie lovers. So I really enjoy that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey Dell, I just want to pop him up here real quick. I don't realize you're never late. You're always on time when you show up, my good friend.
Hey Dell.
You can always check out the replay if you care about what we picked up. Let's see, Pineapple Express. Required viewing for Corey. Yeah.
I know. I have a long list. I have a long list of movies that people just shake their head at me that I have not seen yet.
And now that I know that that's what you guys are going to be discussing, I might have to watch that this week, just so it's like fresh in my mind, because that's going to be Thursday, right?
Friday. I believe it's going to be Friday at. It'll be 7:30 Central, so 8:30 your Eastern. It should be.
Okay. So I should be able to pop in there. I might have to pop out just a little bit before the end because I have mine starting at 10 on Friday, I think. So
Yeah, that's
if you
just
guys go, if you
they
guys
kind of work
go,
for. Yeah.
go a while.
But well, and we'll see. I won't force her to go that long. I've tried to be a little bit better with like I've always thrown it out to people. I was like, we can kind of go however long you want to, and sometimes they've kind of get away from us, and all of a sudden it's like, oh wow. So it's kind of funny when now I have shorter ones that are around 2 hours now, and so I'm not gonna make her stay on there longer than she wants to. So we'll figure out that what works. But Friday worked better for her. I've been doing a lot of Thursday nights, it seems like, but I'll kind of just move around to whatever works for. I'm reaching out to somebody. I want to talk to you and have you on. What works for you over what is my preference, And
I mean, and the ones that see it and the ones that support, we all show up anyways, no matter which night you do it.
Yeah, and you can always catch the replay too.
You schedule them enough in advance that I hit the notify, and I'm like, well, I know that this night I'll be on here, so I hit the notify, and even if I don't get the notification, I always kind of remember because you promote it far enough in advance, like you have it on your channel long enough that it's always in the back of my mind. Well, he's about to have so and so on. When's that going to be again? So I always kind of keep it in the back of my mind and think about it. Some people like myself. I didn't even announce this to anybody until earlier today. So,
well, and not to take too much longer, but I'll do it real quick. Now that I was thinking about that when we were just talking about this, the following week on the 16th, that's a Thursday night. I'm going to have Jess and Warren on that we met on our trip in Tennessee.
I've seen that.
So I'll have the two of them on, and they both have been kind of he's into vinyl and she's into books, and I was going to try to tie it in a little bit. So we're going to do some, for her, some kind of, if you like this movie, you should check out this book. Either it's the adaptation, or, one way or the other of it, or it's along those lines, to check this out. And then for Warren, we're going to pick out some movie soundtracks that he thinks are cool that we need to check out, so I kind of go through some of those. So kind of tying into their interests that they are digging.
That'll be cool. I've seen that thumbnail pop up. I was very happy to see that one because I like them too. They were very fun to meet.
Oh yeah, they're awesome.
And Warren's a good cook, man. He kept us fed all weekend.
Yes, they did.
You might be talking about Allie. Yeah, she supports she supports Anthony. I mean, I would hope so.
Yeah,
she seems to be head over heels for the guy.
They're a great couple.
Guy, so she should be.
Yeah, they're a great couple.
Great supporter is Allie. Yes, she is. I mean, like I said, she if she ain't the first one, she's right behind Tiana, liking my statuses. So I can't say anything about the support. It's definitely there. Happy May the 4th to everyone. Oh yes, and Caveman, if you wasn't here now that it's the 4th. These are what I showed off at the beginning of the stream. We got our Star Wars CD soundtracks. May the 4th be with you. Great timing on that. So we got Sleeper Movie for you all before I go.
I've never heard of that one.
The Doc. Big Stand with Rob Snyder.
I've never heard of it.
Never heard of it either. I'm writing it down.
I've heard of it.
I've liked some really good movies that Adam suggested.
I'll write that down.
Even his non-horror movies. I mean, actually, I kind of think that I like Adam's non-horror movie taste more than his horror movie taste. He doesn't have bad horror movie taste, but some of the horror movies he likes are kind of way out there. But like his non-horror interests are really good movies. Like he likes a really good movie, that's for sure. Yes, she is.
Yep, she's awesome.
All right. And we got Johnny, what do you got coming up on your channel? I know you said you had some stuff planned.
Yeah, you can find me here on YouTube, and I'm also on Instagram. I do have a live stream coming. I just got to get together with the dates with April, and we're going to show off everything that I picked up over the last month, and maybe a couple more titles that I've got coming in the mail. But after that, on the 14th, I'm going to be on Bob's channel again for his relay race on game night. That's going to be a lot of fun. I think Bob and Huck are co-hosting it, and there's a bunch of other creators who are going to be on there. We're going to have a really great time. And I am going to be going live with someone. I just don't know the date yet, but I'm not going to give that away because I kind of want it to be a surprise.
Oh, cool. We got some stuff to look forward to then.
Awesome. Cool.
Bob's
Hey,
been
I
kind of
like-
on a
I-
roll with his game shows that he's been, his little game adaptations. I think he's having fun with it. I'm having fun watching them too, but it's cool.
Yeah, I had a great month of April. I mean, I spent the whole month of April. I spent the whole month of April playing games with Bob, and I had a blast. Like, I'm sure just for the sake of switching it up, I'm not invited back for a little while because I'm sure after 3 of them in a row, people were tired of seeing me give the winner a run for their money. That's all I really did. I just kept giving the first place. Well, a lot of times it was Tim. I just kept giving them a run for their money. Getting that real close second or that real close third.
Yep.
But yeah. Anybody that's not following Bob should definitely be over there at Bob channel.
Yeah.
Definitely subscribing to him.
For sure.
He's a major supporter of everybody in this community. He's the reason why I ever decided I wanted to buy a microphone and do more than just hop on these with my cell phone. He's the reason why I decided that I even cared about trying to make more friends here. He was the first person that was like, "Hey, I'm going to give you an opportunity to come on my channel, and I don't know if you're going to embarrass me or not, but I'll give you the floor to do so." So,
And he brought us all together.
Yeah, but Bob's a great asset for this community. He brings, and he does a really good job of bringing the right people together. I feel he's done a really good job of meshing personalities well. Because we know that there's certain people in the community that just don't get along with other people in the community, and it's not because they don't like them. It's just because certain personalities just don't mesh. But we haven't had that many awkwardnesses on Bob's, and he always has 10 people up in there, you know? So for you to be able to get 10 people together and then to be able to do that in person as well and find people that all mesh well together, I think Bob's a good reader of people, you know? And he knows people that have a good heart in what they like. Like he knows that people, you know, he knows when people are like actually passionate about what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and bringing that all together and doing that meetup, that's one of my highlights so far this year, I'd say, is getting to meet up with y'all. I had such a blast with that. It was so much fun. I have never had that little of sleep over that number of days. And I come back and was talking about that, and people were like, "Oh, you were partying hard out there?" And I'm like, "No, we weren't, but we were just hanging out and talking." And the next thing you know, it'd be like, "Oh, yeah, maybe we should get a few hours of sleep before we're supposed to get up and get going again for the next day."
No, we're supposed to be going 2 hours this way in about 5 hours. And if we want to drive there safely, we might want 4 hours of sleep.
Yep.
And it was just because we all just did what we do here, and it was just fun. Like, so,
absolutely.
So
I do it again in a heartbeat. I do it again.
Yeah, I have to give props to Bob on that, because that fella gets something. You know, he gets something in his mind, you know, something set that he wants to do, and he goes for it and he does it and he gets it worked out.
Yeah.
And I had a fun time. Like I'd be willing to do something like that every year, except for next year, because the California thing is going to be a lot. But maybe the California thing every 5 years or something. But I could do an East Coast meetup every year. Like, all you guys were wonderful, and I would definitely take the time out of my life to put myself somewhere else where you guys are at, you know.
I'll have to talk my wife into a road trip later this year. Maybe we can go around, do an orbit thing again, and I'll have to hit up you all. And even if it's not getting a place for, you know, a weekend like that or something, like just being able to meet up for a day, or, you know, whatever ended up would work out. I think it would be fun to do something.
We're all going to go shopping at Orbit on this Saturday.
Yeah, right. You know,
we'll be there.
Yeah, and go grab some lunch and hang out. I'd do that for sure.
Hey, that place right next door is perfectly fine.
I was going to say that worked out great.
That was better than Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it was nice. It was right next door.
Yeah. So we got everybody saying goodnight in the chat. I just want to say goodnight to everybody that's been in the chat. We got subscribe to Bob here. Yes, everybody.
Yes.
If you're watching on I will probably add Bob to my description. I probably should have him in more of my descriptions, links to his channel, because like I said, he's just been a really good organizer of this community. And he's very passionate about people having fun with movies. He doesn't care. I don't think Bob does the game nights because he cares about competition. He wants to find ways for us to have fun with our collections besides them sitting on the shelf.
Oh, absolutely.
And being pulled off once every 5 years.
Yeah.
That's what I like about what he does. So anybody that's in there taking it to heart and not having a good time, you're in the wrong place, I think. Because I don't know anybody. I get last place and I'm like, okay, I'm ready for the next game night. Like, you know, I could be I could get 0 points. I could be the bottom on the totem pole and I'm ready for the next one.
Yep.
Because they're just fun.
Yeah.
So, what we got here? We got Adam. You're doing great, Jeff. All three of you growing strong. You well-deserved fellows. Good night to all. Good night, Adam.
Yeah, good night, Adam.
Good night, Adam. See you.
See you, Dale.
See you, Dale.
Holland.
And Holland.
Night Fish. So with that, what I got going on here on my channel, I have a video that's kind of been just sitting on YouTube for a couple of days. I just kind of been wondering when I want to make it go live. That'll go live this weekend at some point. It's a music pickup. I opened up a big old box of vinyl records and CDs and did an unboxing video. That'll be coming this weekend. It's all like Juggalo style music. So if you're not really into that, you probably won't understand kind of what I'm talking about in it. But there's some really cool records in there and some really cool artwork. So if you want to come in there and check it out, I'd appreciate it. I had a good time making it, so it probably won't get a lot of hits. It's always the ones where I'm like, oh, this ain't going to do good. And then all of a sudden, a couple hundred hits. And then, oh, I put a lot of passion into this. I love it. 82 hits. And I'm happy for the 82 hits, but it's like, man, I actually put time into that one. So, but it's just kind of sitting there. Basically, I'm just kind of trying to spread my stuff out because I don't want to get burned out on it. I have a follow-up video that I'm gonna make to my 3DO video. There's some drama going on with that game and that company that pressed the game. So I'm going to be making a video talking about that and my experience with unboxing it and whether or not I got a fake disc in it. And then I do have a live stream next Friday night at 10 o'clock with Dudu Loves Movies, Cody. Which congratulations to him. He just hit 1,000 subscribers. So I appreciate him still caring about giving little old me the time of his. But we're going to be talking season 3, full discussion of Chucky and all things Chucky at that point. I had some guys in my live stream the other night ask if we'd be talking about lore as well. So if you want to come into the live stream and you don't care about possibly season 3 being ruined and you just want to hear us talk about Chucky lore and chime in, I'd appreciate that. It'll be me and Cody and my son's gonna sit here with me as well. So there'll be 3 of us doing that. And like I said, we'll just be talking everything Chucky. That should be fun. That should be a lot of fun. I'm gonna be rewatching this season again just so I'm a little more fresh about it because I watched so much stuff that a lot of this episodes are already buried in my memory from the movies I've been watching this week and all that. But like I said, that'll be next Friday. Starting about the same time we started tonight. I think for the most part, I'm going to probably do live streams Friday nights at 10. If I do live streams, I'm probably just going to do them Friday nights at 10. There's not a lot of other people in the community streaming. Not that I should really worry about it. Everybody says not to worry about stepping on toes. Just go with the flow and do it. If you worry about stepping on other creators' toes, you're never going to make content because there's always somebody live. I just feel like Fridays are the deadest night for our community in whole. Every once in a while we get a Collectors Club episode or whatever. And I'm liking that you're doing like a lunch thing. So I figure maybe I might do an evening thing on Fridays and maybe start mixing it up a little bit between like a watch along here and maybe a pickup here and, you know, kind of just hanging out and chit chatting with you guys like I did tonight. If you guys are ever interested, hopefully I didn't bore you guys too bad tonight. If you guys are ever interested in coming back, I would love to have you guys back to just do more of this. And like I said, just basically shoot our shot for a couple hours. And
it's fun, man.
Thanks
for thinking of us and asking us on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Mr. Cool Kid Johnny here. I was pretty last minute on that and didn't realize how I messaged you last night. So I appreciate you just saying yes and popping in here, my guy. I appreciate that.
No problem, man. No problem.
So, and to close it out, this is the man of the hour, one of my favorite people in my entire life, Tristan King. This is my son right here. Fun stream. I'm sure he was in here at the very least listening to it in the background on his phone for me. So I love that kid right there. And I'm sure anybody that watches my videos and watches the two of us interact knows that. So, but on that note, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight and the chat for staying lively. I really hope I didn't miss anybody's chats. I tried to do my best to stay on top of that. I think I did all right. If I missed it, it wasn't personal. I'm just a newbie at this and we're just here having fun. So take no offense to that. And until next time, we'll be seeing you guys around. Bye.
See you guys.